The Denver Nuggets beat the Miami Heat 94-89 to win the franchise first title. The big fella Joker wins the Finals MVP, averaging 30, 14, and 7 and shooting 58% from the field. Wembanyama is one game away from being eliminated in the Pro A-LNB Finals. They have Game 3 on Thursday, and the Texans announced that J.J. Watt is going into their Ring of Honor. R&R in the Morning gets going right now.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
It's 0600. What's the O stand for? Oh my God, it's early.
Wake me up, wake me up, wake up, wake up, wake me up. So wake me up, wake up.
Rob Thompson.
Ginobili the other way in transition to the back with a left-hand slam.
I want some rest.
Rudy J.
Cowboys win. How else would you settle this game?
How about this Cowboys?
Begin each day as if it were on purpose.
I wake up in the morning, I kiss excellence.
R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
It's R&R in the morning, a Tuesday edition, a tired Tuesday edition, as we enter the world of no NBA. Congratulations, Denver Nuggets. They take the NBA title in a gentleman's sweep in what was a fun, if not well-officiated basketball game.
It was a good game. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was officiated weirdly, but nonetheless, it was still a good game. I mean, kind of, not 121 to 120.
Don't try to defend it. You hated games like this.
No,
you talk about those 90s games
this
like they
wasn't
were awful.
71 to 70 game for Spurs.
It was 86-83 with 2 minutes to go, dude. It was a travesty what the NBA gave us last night.
I thought the officiating was bad.
Awful.
I thought the officiating was bad, especially I think the Jimmy Butler no reversal was the most egregious.
It was the symbol of that game.
But at the end of the day, you also had two teams fighting for their lives, but what it seemed like, and there was some deflections and blocks and guys diving and stuff like that. A lot of it had to do with the way the defense played. We haven't seen defense in 2 years. So when you see it, it's like, oh, it's bad basketball. No, they just decided to play defense tonight.
Oh, I think it was a mix of both. I felt like I was watching the Houston Rockets a couple of years ago. The bricks being chunked really on both sides. I mean, it was a bad shooting game, whether there was bad reffing or not. There were a lot of nerves involved. But like you said, it was a great basketball game. You weren't going to turn the channel.
No, a probably very highly rated basketball game, especially because it went down to the wire.
And after Bam picked up his 17th personal foul. No, wait. They only called 4 of them.
Right.
Miami was in the penalty for the second half, about 9 minutes into the third. Denver shot free throws the entire fourth quarter. They didn't make a lot of them.
No, they were awful from the free throw line. That was the other thing. When they did call them, Denver didn't do a damn thing with it.
And to the refs' credit, at least it was even. They let both teams just wrestle around for 2.5 hours, and that's what we got. But it was a championship night for Denver.
I guess we can't decide what we want. Because the thing about it is, if they would have blown every whistle, we'd have came in here this morning talking about, why don't y'all get out the way? Then when they don't blow the whistle, we come in here, oh my God, what? So we just like to complain.
Well, they could have set the tone. You knew what Miami was going to do. Everybody knew it. They were going to come out.
I don't blame Bam.
No,
I'm out of options.
They were going to come out and go as far as the refs would let them. And that's what you're supposed to do. I don't blame Miami. I blame the refs and the NBA. And the symbol of last night's game will be that foul on Jimmy Butler. That's the symbol. That's what we saw last night.
Well, it didn't matter because they lost.
Thank God. Thank goodness, because you imagine that thing would have turned on that?
Well, it did. I mean, he tied it up, and then they went up.
Well, they still lost.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, thank God. Can you imagine they turn it and go win the game on that after the way they'd let everything else go all night long? Apart from that, let's revel in the glory that was. Jokic continues to be just an amazing basketball player. And will somebody tell him that they won, that there's not another game, that their season's done? Because
he's ready to go to Serbia. He's just ready to go. So did you see him when they said, hey, are you ready for the parade? And he looks at his PR person and says, when's the parade? Yeah. And they say Thursday. He says, no, I got to go home.
I got horses to feed.
I honestly feel like if they were to say, hey, man, you go home, he'd leave. He'd leave. Like, there's don't care, and then there's Joker. Like we've seen don't care guy. We had a don't care, don't give a damn guy for 20 years. But Joker took that to a whole other level.
Come on, hang out with us, dude. Let's have some fun. Now, there's so many lines to this. What do we consider Miami now? How do we quantify what Miami's done over the last 6 years? Because it has been extraordinary. But losing record in the finals, lost three in a row. I'm not saying they're Buffalo, but where do they lay?
They can't be Buffalo. They've won
That's
two.
what I'm saying. They can't
three,
be.
Excuse me,
three. But they've lost 3 straight. So it's getting a little rough there in Miami. Denver, are they a dynasty in the making? I mean, there's certainly
they ain't going anywhere. I'm not saying the D word until they get another one. So no, I don't know if it's a dynasty in the making, but they're not going anywhere, and the road to the finals leads through them for sure. And I mean, if you're good day to be Christian Brown. I mean, he won an NCAA title, and now you already got to see
he won 3 straight high school titles.
Yeah,
too.
so you get a false sense of what life is when you're Christian Brown.
That's 5 straight years of titles.
That's crazy.
Isn't that nuts?
It's crazy.
I remember when Shaq said he'd run on every level but pro.
That's true.
You had?
No, I think Miami's in a good space. They're in a better space than a lot of teams. You got to add some pieces for sure. You got to add another guy for sure. But if you're Miami, you're not mad at all at where you're at. I mean, the East is scared of you. The 2 best teams in the East have no answer for you. They're scared to death of you. I mean, now once you get to the West and you're looking at LeBron or Joker or AD, then yeah, things get a little hairy. They played the best they could, mucked it up, and they still end up losing that game. But I think if you're Miami, you're in a good space. You're in a better space than a lot of people.
Yeah, I think that they've got Spo. They got a lot of guys under contract. They'll be back next year, but they definitely, it was proven, need another piece. They need something else to help Butler, if not
but it has to fit their culture, Rob.
Yeah.
It has to fit their culture.
And as extraordinary as Jimmy was for all of the playoffs, the last several games, I think he ran out of gas. But he certainly needs some help. I don't know what happened. I don't know how much Denver played a role in what happened to Butler for most of the game last night, though, when given the opportunity, he hit some shots.
I mean, he went for 13 straight in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, given the opportunity. But for the first 40 minutes, it was, man, we just need a little bit from you. If there was just something else there, they could have created a gap. But there just wasn't enough. Denver gets it done. And in extraordinary fashion, Yoke was as good as any basketball player has ever been in the finals. Only Kareem, Wilt, LeBron, those are only a few guys have done what he has done in the history of the league. And it was not beautiful by any stretch. It was just absolutely effective.
No, dominant. Dominant comes to mind, making everybody better. A skilled the best offensive big man we've ever seen for sure.
There's no question. What are they, baseball? They call them 5-tool guys or whatever.
Yeah, he's the best offensive big of all right now. Somebody will come pass him up, but as of right now, is the best offensive big man we've ever seen.
During the game, I'm going to miss Van Gundy, by the way. I thoroughly enjoy Jeff. He's a great
analyst.
Like
Jeff a lot.
Yeah. There was a point in the game. It was in the third quarter. Jamal Murray had the ball on the left side of the court, and he made a little hezzy dribble, and he stopped, and he threw a really nice left-handed pass down to Porter. Or no, it was to Aaron Gordon for a foul layup. But it was a beautiful pass. And Van Gundy pointed out the fact that, he wouldn't have made that pass, but because he plays for Jokic, he knows what that looks like. He knows what a pass like that looks like. If you haven't played with a guy, you wouldn't even try that. But you'd seen what Yoke did, and he did it. That was not in Murray's bag. He was not a passer.
I think that's a stretch.
No, dude, that was a pass that I don't believe Murray would have even attempted.
Look,
before.
I love Joker too, but that's a stretch. Now he's passing because he's thinking about Joker.
No, it's the effort from good to better, better to best. What I'm saying is Jokic always looked for the better play, just like the Spurs did. You play with Jokic, you start to play like that guy, and if that guy's willing to give up a jumper for a layup, I will too. He found a guy that I don't think Murray would have found 2 years ago. He would have taken the shot and probably made it, but he made a pass that only because they're playing in a game that is my star is willing to give up layups to Christian Braun. I might as well do the same thing.
Okay.
You don't agree with that?
No. I just As a great, why can't we just leave it at a great pass?
That was a great pass, but I'm
That's it.
saying that was not in his bag. That was not something that he was even.
But I don't think it has to do anything with Joker.
No, it has everything to do with the mentality that Joker brings. I am the best player in the world, and I'm willing to take 4 shots in the first half.
This is what we do after guys win Finals MVPs. We start going we start going crazy. I mean, I look. I just said 30 seconds ago he makes everybody better, but now we're like, oh well, he made that pass because he's been playing with Joker for 6 years. I just think he made a great pass. I mean, he did go to Kentucky. It's not like Jamal Murray learned how to play basketball.
I'm not saying anything other than the mentality of your star sets the tone for your team.
But Jamal's a star as well.
But the big dog is him, and the good to better thing only happens when your star is willing to do it.
And Jamal's one of the stars that set the
And
tone.
he did it.
He sets the tone as well.
I think you're getting too much to Jamal. I really do.
I
think
this is what we do. I mean, you know, we loved on Jimmy, and now we criticizing him, and now, you know, Joker's, you know, the best big in the world, the best big we've ever seen, and now it's like when he's making someone else makes a good pass, we giving the credit to Joker too.
Yeah, I give credit to the guy that sets the tone, and I think
Jamal sets the tone too. And let me tell you why I say that. What happened to the Denver Nuggets the last 2 years when Jamal Murray was out?
I'm not taking anything away from Jamal.
So then we can't just sit here and give all the credit.
I am telling you,
if it was like that,
sets the tone.
If it was like that, they would have been to the finals before Jamal Murray got back. And Joker will tell you that.
You're taking it the wrong way.
No,
man.
I'm not taking it the wrong way. I'm just saying that's
when Tim made those passes,
make a great
when
pass,
LeBron makes those passes, when those guys are willing to give up, subjugate their game, it makes everybody, okay,
Jamal,
man, it's not about me.
Jamal takes a back seat as well. So he sets the tone as far as like, hey, let's do the right things on this team as well.
And if Christian Braun sees Jamal drop a pass, I will too. But I think when the stars are willing to give you the layup, give you the bounce, give everything to you just because that's the better part of the team. And I think sometimes when Miami got lost, they got into one-on-one ball. They didn't do that.
I think that's a stretch for you and Van Gundy. But that's your opinion.
I'm very staunch with that opinion. Now I want to hear from everybody else. Did the bell cow set the tone for this? Was this Mike Malone's making, or was this Luka's making? Because we got a champion. Is there a dynasty in the making? Where does Miami go? Lots of NBA talk, but there's still NFL gumbo as the world begins its focus on the NFL, and they strategically plan all of their practices perfectly as we get the rest of the NFL getting into their OTAs today. So we'll talk a lot about the teams as they start jumping into camp. Many, many things happening around, and there's some deals to happen. The Texans make a huge announcement. Did they jump the gun? Are we in a hurry already? Because he might even come back. We'll talk about the Ring of Honor and the new Texas growth. What would that be, the third?
Yes, only the third. Only the third. They have the owner and a player, and now JJ.
And it's been a bit since they put the player, and they laid it a bit for that first player. Andre went in. Did he go in the first year? No, it was a couple years.
That's a pledge question. I didn't even know they had one.
That is indeed a pledge question.
I didn't know the Texans had a Ring of Honor.
Oh, you got to copy the Cowboys. I mean,
oh my gosh, here we go. You see, Rob, like right. DLP on YouTube says Rob is starting early. Yes, he is.
Hey, man. Doesn't every team have a Ring of Honor of some sort?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of
only know about the Cowboys.
Well, I think only the Cowboys because they make a big deal out of it. As soon as it become exclusionary,
when you're a Bears
cares.
fan, there's nothing to ring and there's nothing to honor. So I have no idea.
There's got to be, like the Yankees have that Monument Park, right? They have things.
Yeah.
I mean, so I guess every stadium has, or every team has something.
I would hope
like
so. I would hope so. I would hope so.
But the Texans been around for 30 years. They got one player. Maybe that's why they're hurting.
Think about it.
Maybe there's
who else is deserving? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Who was their first coach? See? I'm trying to remember their first coach's name, and it doesn't even, I can picture it.
And yes, Jason Garcia, the first thing Rob said to me when I walked in today, you see the horns lose? Hey, damn.
It would be easy to revel in
Rob. It was
Dom Capers, the defensive strategist that was Dom Capers. Yeah, I wasn't going to throw that out there because I feel badly for Texas. I do. What a horrible way to lose. I mean, If anybody didn't see it, it's bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, tied 6-all. Texas on defense. All they need is just a ground ball. There's a couple guys on base you could turn to. Bases are easy to find. Stanford pops a Texas leaguer about 30 feet behind second base into the lights. 4 dudes standing, cannot find it. It drops. Texas loses 7-6.
We got to do something about those lights.
Ooh.
Like, if that's the case, then let's just play in the daytime.
You know, they were making excuses, the commentators on the game, like, oh, you know, it just happened to be the perfect time of day where the lights really haven't kicked in and the ball's the same color as the sky. And if you didn't see it leave the bat, and I'm thinking,
that's true.
Oh, my God.
That's not true, Rob.
Oh, it's absolutely true. I completely
But you don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, my God, yes. But when that happens, when things like this happen, you go, well, God didn't want us to win.
Wow.
I mean, it's like
he threw God in there like
if you give God all the credit, sometimes you got to go, well, we would have won if God would have given my outfielder sunglasses.
For the first time in sports talk radio history, Rob says the Longhorn struggles because God hates them.
Well, there are some times when you lose and go like a 70-foot desperation 3 at the buzzer, you go, well,
yeah,
you know, I mean, sometimes. And then there's times like last night when Spo went into his locker room and said, stand tall, my brothers. You lost to a more talented team. Not a better team, but a more talented team beat us last night. And we'll look at what went down last night. We're going to hear from all those that won and them that lost as well. Joker doesn't care, but there might be a back-to-back in their future, and Mike Malone speaks to what is beginning and where they are headed. Hold on tight. We're talking finals and lots of NFL. This is R&R, and you're on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and ESPNSA.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up at 2 on The Blitz, Shereen Williams joins us to talk a little Cowboys football and, well, a little football in general. I'm going to sit down with Terry Bradshaw, the Blind Bomber. He'll join us on The Blitz starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We're here with Jose Rios, attorney at the Gomez Law Firm. If you are injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, Jose, what's the first thing our listeners should do?
The first thing they should do is pick up the phone, call the Gomez Law Firm, or Google joegomezlaw.com.
Gomez Law has been protecting the people of our community for almost 50 years. They're the leader in personal injury law.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do carbon monoxide cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries.
But that's not all your firm does, Jose. Tell us a little more about other cases Gomez Law takes on and wins here in Texas.
Really, anything that involves a personal injury and a third party that is responsible for causing that injury, we will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
What if you could build a 6-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a 6-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
Don't let pain keep you from doing the things you love. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. Whether you've been living with chronic and nagging pain for years, or if you've recently experienced an injury, our goal is to get you out of pain as quickly as possible. Arasti is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, Arasti accepts most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
When you're drinking a frozen beverage from McDonald's, your brain may not like how refreshingly cold it is, but the rest of your body, Oh, yes. It's gonna relish every moment of it because there are drinks. Then there are drinks from McDonald's.
There's no better way to cool down than with this cool deal. Get a medium frozen Coke, frozen Dr. Pepper, or frozen Fanta for just $1.79. Prices at participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets.
The Denver Nuggets have finally done it.
The 2023 NBA Finals champion. The Nuggets win the NBA Finals for the first time in Nugget team history. No joke. The Joker wins the MVP. And you heard it here all season long on your exclusive home for the NBA. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
I paid my dues.
Rebound, Caldwell Pope, 10 seconds to go. Miami's not going to foul. No team in NBA history's waited longer. After 47 years, the Denver Nuggets are finally NBA champions. They take down the Heat in 5 games. The Nuggets, the 2023 NBA champs.
Mark Kestis here on the call. Denver takes it 89 points was the final for Miami, 94 for Denver. See the party downtown in Denver?
I did. I immediately thought of Spence. Like, why is he in San Antonio? Why was he not in Denver last night? If he was a real Nuggets fan, he would have flew home like Sunday night and like been there for that. It was insane. Great feeling. I know that feeling, Denver. Yeah. Party on, people. But can I ask something? And I don't know which one, Rob. I don't know what we would do, but I hate this song.
Why? I mean, it's
I don't know. You know what? I don't hate this song.
Have you seen the movie? Have you seen the movie Queen? And I thought it was kind of like, well, anyway, I don't hate it.
The boat.
That's Queen. This is Queen.
Yeah, I know, but it's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody. And
I love that movie.
They wrote this song with a purpose. They wanted a stadium anthem. I thought it just kind of turned into one.
Yeah.
But it was written with that purpose, which I kind of was like,
oh yeah.
But I kind of was like, oh, I thought we just kind of made it that. And they were like, you know what? We need something for a stadium.
And the boom, boom.
But
that was also for stadium. But I you know what? I don't hate the song. I'm just over it.
Let me tell you.
I'm over the song.
Keep in mind, when I was in high school, this was a thing. 40 years ago, this song was being played after you won a high school football game. It was a thing. So,
but there isn't anything to replace it.
Oh no! Until
you know what I'm saying. There's nothing to replace it. So I got to live with it. I'm just over it.
Just put it away till the next championship. And we'll listen to it for 24 hours and move along because I don't want to hear it on the radio.
Oh yeah, I don't even listen to the radio besides sports stuff. Have you listened to music radio?
I listen to my brother Sam's programming across the hall.
Oh, shout out to Sam. I listen to Sam's a dad. He don't care about music anymore anyway. He got a crying baby all night.
He's going to be learning about Baby Shark. You want to talk about a new brand of music.
That's the only time I saw Joker smile last night when he grabbed his beautiful little daughter.
You know, watching the game, my wife picked up on the fact that Yoke's wife was there and was holding a baby, had a baby on her hip. My wife was like, she's not from here, is she? So what do you mean? She goes, well, I know he's Serbian, but she's not American, is she? And I was like, no, I don't think so. So I could tell immediately because an American wife would have been ready to party. That kid would have been at home.
They would have been there, but the nanny would have been there too.
The baby would have been in the back room playing. Yeah. You know, it would have been kind of that thing. But it was a spectacular basketball game. Now, how you like the officiating? Me personally, I was upset with it. But at the end of the day, all you want, 2 minutes to go, you want the game tied. You want big shots and big moments, and we got that. We got what we wanted. Now, how we got there, we can bitch about. But the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, a gentleman's sweep, the most talented team won. Now, can they do it again? Is, of course, the next question you have to ask. Can they do it again?
That was the first thing he said when he grabbed the mic. We're not satisfied with one.
Let's listen to the head coach. And is this only the beginning? He talks about it.
Pat Riley said something many years ago. I used to have it up on my board when I was a head coach in Sacramento, and I talked about the evolution in this game, and how you go from a nobody to an upstart, and you go from an upstart to a winner, and a winner to a contender, and a contender to a champion. And the last step is after you're a champion is to be a dynasty.
Whoa.
So we're not satisfied. We accomplished something this franchise has never done before, but we have a lot of young, talented players in that locker room. And I think we just showed through 16 playoff wins what we're capable of on the biggest stage in the world.
It's amazing you go from, Sacramento, like, oh, you're fired, you can't coach, to it's amazing what happens when you get a superstar.
Yeah, Pop will be the first to tell you about that.
It's amazing what happens when you get a superstar. All of a sudden, they're asking, is he the best coach in the league? Well, was he the best coach in the league before he got Joker?
Or at Sacramento?
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you had never watched basketball up until 3 years ago, Rob, you wouldn't think Pop is the GOAT.
No, no, absolutely not. Like, who is he? How did he get this job?
Why is that guy on the court?
Why is he here? Well, that guy's older than anybody in the building.
Jeremy Shohan? No,
In fact, we're going to talk about the quality of coaching later on. You're going to want to be here just after 7. Reggie Miller has some thoughts on Pop as he takes the Wemby mantle, and you certainly might have some thoughts regarding that. But anyway, despite the clunky play, I did the math. I did some addition.
There's a lot of missed open shots.
14 for 63 combined from 3. 14 from 63. Denver didn't make a 3 until late in the third.
And they couldn't make a free throw and still won. That's how you know they're just better.
Free throws. Now, Miami didn't go very often, but they were 14 to 16.
They made most of theirs, but if Denver makes free throws, if Denver makes 6 or 7 more of those free throws, the game wouldn't have come down to what it came down to.
They missed 10 free throws, 13 of 23. They're 5 for 28 from 3, 13 for 23 from free throws, and still managed to win the game.
You know what it looked like? It looked like a bunch of guys in a game that most of them have never been in. It looked like Denver looked like a team that's like, damn, I'm nervous. Like, we need to really get this done tonight. And Miami shot like a team like, oh man, if I miss this, we're going to lose the damn finals. It looked like a bunch of guys out there that had never really been in that situation.
And,
that's what it looked like.
It did. And Malone
Nerves
obviously saw it and knew it was coming. I kept wondering, what is he so afraid of? Why is he so intense on this
10
fact?
free throws missed.
And I think a little bit of them, he jittered his team out. I think they were a little bit too tight. I mean, they were that first quarter, my God.
Well, in that third quarter, I think Joker took over the most. I think that's
the most screaming.
Yeah, that's the most emotion I've ever seen Joker have. But he was, pretty much ripping his team a new one. Like, come on. Because see, what I didn't know at that moment, Rob, is he's ready to get to Serbia. So he was like, y'all better, yep. Oh, no, you good. I was like, y'all better get your stuff together, man. I got to go home. Man. Like, that's why he was so mad. But it worked. And they came out in the third quarter because, they going down at half. You know what I was thinking, Rob? I was like, man, Denver just wants to go to Club Live. They want to win this in Miami and be able to hit Club Live. I was thinking, you know what? That's what's going on. And then with the way the officiating went, when the officiating is that bad, Rob, this is what I hate about it. That's that dark cloud of the NBA will not go away because everybody feels like the NBA, more than any sport, is rigged, and they wanted to go 6 and they wanted to go 7. And, when you let Bam UFC Joker
all night, man,
for the whole game, it drives that NBA narrative that this thing is fixed.
Again, it was equal. Denver dished it out later, but for the first half, they were a punching bag. They were getting.
Yeah, there was a lot of guys' bodies, bodies all over the floor, and they just tucked the whistles. But that's what we ask them to do, and then they do it, and we still mad.
Well, I don't remember what the line is because I backed off betting on Miami. I wasn't going to deal with that. I don't know what the line was, but on the other side of the coin, Spoelstra and his team, the defense that they played and all that they went together. I don't know where we place them in the hierarchy in the NBA annals, because there's been a lot of teams that contend. Utah for about 4 years contended, but they didn't get anything. They
ran into Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I'm just saying, I remember those teams fondly. But I think this Miami team is better. But I don't know where they rank in the history of losers.
Because you got to remember they were one in the play-in. The story to have to go through Boston and Milwaukee to win the first game in Denver in this entire playoffs as far as Denver goes. Look, 5 years from now, will we remember this Heat
Probably
team?
not. Probably not. It's too bad. I don't know why, because I think it's one of the best loser stories in the history of the NBA.
It would make a great movie.
Yes.
I like in the movie when the team loses in the title. Like, because realistically, this is what happens. Something like this is literally a movie. Like, to come from one game being eliminated, you lose your first play in, you have to play for your life to get in, and then you run all the way to the finals. It's literally a movie.
And doing that without two starters.
Two starters.
And getting where they did. Well, we won't remember all of that went on. But I do know this. The way Spoelstra talked post-game, you feel like this team is one of those forevers teams, that these guys will remember each other forever.
Be barbecuing when they're 60. I'm like, man, that Joker, we couldn't do nothing with
just
him.
about it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you remember Struz and remember game 2 with 6 minutes left? You can remember everything. So this is one of those teams that is connected at the hip until they're, gone, till their kids are in the pros.
And let's give some love to Gabe Vincent and Struz
and Martin
and Caleb Martin. First of all, Vincent and Martin are as good around the rim as any guards in the NBA. Those dudes hit layups,
you
man.
know what? I didn't realize Vincent was the dude that busted our ass in the Olympics for Nigeria.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize. I was like, he was kicking our ass in the Olympics for Nigeria. I forgot all about that.
And in 3 years, when they're playing for whatever team in the TBT, winning that $1 million, they're not in the league anymore. I'm kidding.
Now, do you have considering he had an up and down series, as Lisa Salters reminded him, do you have a new respect for Michael Porter Jr.? After game 2, he stopped pouting and just did what was best for the team.
There's a body language with him.
Because remember who he was supposed to be coming out of college.
And I think he might still be that eventually, maybe, because we saw a little bit of grit over the last 2 games. For sure. How many rebounds did he grab last
13.
night? That's beast mode. That's as much as we can ever expect from Michael Porter Jr., which tells me he gave 100%.
When you playing with those other 2
yeah,
cats.
man, that's beast mode for him. But there's a body language thing with him. If he misses a shot, he slumps his shoulders, and his first step is a hunch. And he can't get out of it. And I don't think that's his mind. I think it's just his body. But it drives me crazy. It drives me crazy when I see him.
I think he kind of fixed it after game 2.
No, I don't think that's his brain. You know what I mean? I just think his body still continues to do it. And he exudes that, but I don't think he's thinking that.
What the problem is? He's one of those guys. I mean, I'm not saying he's a star or anything. He's not even in that realm yet. But he really thinks he's going to make every shot.
Yeah, I agree. And have some just act a little bit more like it. But man, I think that there's more there. And you're right. And that's the thing about Malone. He got that out of him.
Yeah, I was legit happy for Denver. I don't know why.
Me too.
I have no stake in Denver whatsoever, but I was happy for them.
Hey, they got the gumbo. It's boiling right now. We're going to go get the saltines. We'll be right back, giving you the NFL gumbo you so desire. Did you know that the franchise tag has been weaponized? We'll tell you what that means next. You're on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM.
Guys, did you know that June is Men's Health Month? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T level is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your hormones are serious business, and most men start to see changes in their hormone levels starting in their 30s. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Get your T levels checked today by a local, experienced, and trusted healthcare professional. Revive Men's Health has successfully helped thousands of men since 2011. Experience and results matter. So, what are you waiting for? Call Revive today to schedule your free testosterone test and free exam. We know we can help you. We guarantee it. Celebrate Men's Health Month. Get your free T-level test and save $199. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
At the United States Postal Service, we're reinventing our network to help keep your business moving. With new shipping options to deliver better value, greater flexibility to conveniently reach your customers, more confident shipping with new informed delivery features, and new electric vehicles for a cleaner, brighter future. Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/moving forward.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health and slows down sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. Start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
Cookie wants to be a professional wrestler.
I'm Cookie Serratos and I'm 11 years old.
She also wants to win all the medals. That's why Cookie and her family make every day count, squeezing out her best with Go-Go Squeeze.
Okay, Cookie, let's break for a Go-Go Squeeze.
Go-Go Squeeze fruit on the go pouches are a nutritious snack made from 100% fruit with no sugar added.
Go, Cookie!
Because when you nurture your kids, you squeeze out the best in them. Squeeze out the best with Go-Go Squeeze. Not a low-calorie food. Products range from 11 to 13 grams of sugar and 60 to 70 calories per serving.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life, celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
The Low Post Podcast with Zach Lowe.
Tatum, I think at worst, he's third in MVP right now. He's playing defense at a borderline all defense level. He's too young for these conversations to really start in earnest. If he's a Celtic for life for most of his career, he has a chance to be historically for one of the two historic giants in the league. As great as any player who's ever worn that uniform, including Bird.
Check out the Low Post Podcast on the ESPN app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go, so I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partner with Beacon. With the new Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips. It's like having my Beacon rep in my pocket 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building. And neither do they. Now through June, purchase through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Beacon, always building.
All guests appearing on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star appear on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control rental and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, good morning to you.
Top of the morning to all.
This is R&R. He is Rudy. I am Rob, hence the R's. On the other side of the glass, Edwin is here. We got a full week of fun heading your direction. Hey, we're going to have Dave Chappelle tickets on Thursday to give away.
Did you cried long enough?
I did. I went and cried. So our hot ticket
See,
Thursdays.
I thought you were crying to get your own. I didn't know you were crying for us to give them away.
Let's just say I cried for all of us. Okay. I might have cried a little bit more for myself than others, but I cried for all of us. I wept genuine tears. Also, Colin Jost.
You know what? That's the SNL guy.
Yeah,
right?
he's the dude that does the news
with on the
Michael
anchor.
Che.
Yeah. I've never watched an episode of Saturday Night Live, but I've seen clips of him.
What did you just say?
I've never watched.
You don't watch Saturday Night Live? Wow.
I get it. Like, the thing about it is, it's one of those things where I can get the ones that I need to see, they go viral. The clips that I need to see. You know what I mean? Like, I've obviously seen the Eddie Murphys. I've seen the Adam Sandler clips. Like, the ones
But
that I
never watched
I
like
don't
an
have to
episode of Saturday Night Live.
No.
That tells me so much. First of all, it tells me how boring a life I live that I'm home on Saturday night to watch these.
First of all, Saturday Night Live, it's been on a long time for a reason. Just because I don't want, it's great.
So
obviously, it's great.
I find that amazing.
Really?
How many of you guys out there? I literally, we have. I would say right now we probably got. It's what 6:45. I bet there's 35,000 people listening to us right now.
Okay.
If you have a device, 656-3776, 656 ESPN. I want to do a non-scientific poll. How many of you guys out there have never seen Saturday Night Live? Not one episode.
Now, I have, like, if there's somebody I performed, like, that I wanted to see musically, I've seen those, but I've never sat through and it never sat down and been like, I'm about to watch Saturday Night Live.
Again, I just feel like I live a boring life because I've seen
dude.
I mean, it's just
if
something
that's
that
the
I
case,
watch.
then millions are boring because it's well, how long has this thing been on?
Oh, since I was a kid.
See what I'm
Since,
saying?
I was
so
in
I
middle
think
school.
I feel left out.
Like 76, 77.
Because I've been many a days I'm home on Saturday night. I don't know what's up with that. It's weird.
Well, Colin Jost is coming. We got tickets. I think his show is this week, like the 16th. I think we'll have some tickets.
I know San Antonio Sports are posted on Instagram, so it must be soon.
So it's right around the corner. So
is he funny? He funny guy. You like him?
Okay. The reason I found that funny, and I had thought about a little bit. We're going to pull the curtain back to our morning crew because we're all fam, right?
Yeah, for sure.
They do this bit.
Okay.
Where they write a joke for each other. So I would write a joke for you,
Mm-hmm.
and you would write a joke for me. And they don't get to read it until it's live.
So you get
and
I
the
like
jokes are awful. Like racial jokes where you got Jost making a black joke and Che making a white joke.
Oh,
I mean, they're awful. Like, oh my God, did he just say that? But they do it under the gist of, I wrote it for him, so he really didn't say
I would
it.
imagine that sometimes they're reading and they can't even get through it.
No, they can't. And you're like, oh my God, is he going to say it? And then he'll say it. Like, well, you know what? He wrote it, not me. So I love the bit.
I like, you know what? See, I've never watched an episode, but that's what I like about how we do things. Sometimes I'll be like, Rob, I don't want to hear it. Tell me on air. Because I just want to give a real reaction.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean? So I guess I like
we
that.
write each other's jokes.
We gotta call her, Rob.
All right, let's see. This is the unscientific poll. If you have never seen Saturday Night Live, and you're just now headed home, because obviously you got a social life, the likes of which I have never. Let us know if you have it. Let's hit the Kielbasa Smoke Meat phone lines. Noah dialed them, 656-3776. All right, Noah, you seen it or not?
Hey, how's it going? Nah, I've never seen an episode of Saturday Night Live.
Before you go any further, my young brother, how old are you? I can tell by your voice you're a young man with a lot of life to live. How old?
Hey, you know what? I appreciate that. But for as young as I sound, I'm 30.
That's young, man.
What the hell are you talking about,
old man?
That's young.
Young brother, go live your life. Don't watch
15.
Saturday Night Live till you're 45. Enjoy those Saturday nights, man.
You know what? I grew up on another show, and this is why I can never compare Saturday Night Live to Mad TV, man.
Oh, Mad TV, I'm with you. Okay.
From those days, 90s, so I grew up watching Mad TV, and for that reason, I'm like, damn, this is the greatest show ever. I don't think Saturday Night Live would even come close.
Well, you know what? Noah,
appreciate
the reason, Noah, it didn't. It was because at your age in the '90s,
fight.
that was a brand new thing. No, Mad TV was good, but it was for his age group.
Gotcha.
And Saturday Night Live, I started watching it when I was in 7th grade, I think. My parents wouldn't allow me to watch stuff like that, so I'd sneak into my bedroom. I've been watching it my entire life, and I think that it has aged with me, even though they keep changing cast members. So it's part of my life. I understand some of these younger brothers, though.
Do you think Saquon Barkley's ever watched it?
That's an excellent transition, and I'm glad you did that because I didn't.
Isn't it filmed in New York? Wait, didn't you take me to see it when we were up? We walked by. Right?
Yeah, we went by 30
You
Rock.
took me over there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. First of all, the conversation about the franchise tag. I mean, do you, in the broadest sense of the word, is the franchise tag a benefit to the player or a benefit to the team?
Both, because you get top 5 money, and as a team, you get to keep your stars. And look, when we're talking about 3 teams out of 32, when you talk like this year, Jacobs, Pollard, Saquon, that's not a high percentage to call it a weapon. Like let's say if it was 20 teams that use it, but really when you think about it, Rob, I don't think it's ever more than 5. And I think I'm stretching.
I was going to say 5 seems a lot.
5 seems high. So I don't know, but Saquon feels different.
Let's listen to Saquon.
I don't know, because that's going to be in 10 years. And to be honest, I love the game a lot, but I don't see myself being on a football field in 10 years. But what I will say about the running back market and the value of it, what do you think is going to happen? They tagged the top 3 guys. We didn't get a chance to hit the open market. So when we don't get a chance to hit the open market, it hurts a guy like Miles. It hurts all those other guys. They put the cap at 10. And then when they have the tag, they have all the leverage. And that's the reality of it. But there's a personal side of it too. There's a human side of it too. And going off back to the question what Kim said, how I felt like that they're diminishing what I've done since 2018. I'm not saying that, but everyone will talk about the running back market and this and that and the third. Every team is different. Like everyone, there's a thing that goes up, and I think you mentioned it before about quarterbacks in the Super Bowl and how many rushing yards, the top rusher. But every team is not like every team. Pat Mahomes is a 2-time Super Bowl MVP, 2-time MVP, and like this is not everybody have Pat Mahomes, and this is no knock to Daniel Jones. So don't even try to flip like that. And
damn, Saquon is upset.
And he was getting mad.
I can hear it. Like you can tell when a guy that octave changes. Like he's upset.
Here's my I appreciate the idea behind the franchise tag. I do.
I get it.
But this is such a owners protect us from ourselves kind of thing. Please don't let us have free reign to spend our ridiculous billions willy-nilly. Protect us, because he does have a point. When the top 3 backs are franchised, you're limiting the market. I mean, you have put a false cap on the market. And that I have a problem with.
Look, when I look at guys like a Charles Barkley, a Patrick Ewing, I just look at a bunch of guys that were born at the wrong time. Saquon, Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, y'all were born a couple of years too late, and life ain't fair. Like it isn't fair, Saquon. I get it. You are 100% right, my man. But if your parents would have got busy about 5 years earlier, you probably would have gotten $50 million like Zeke and Todd Gurley did. But your parents waited a little bit too long to play Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye. You're just born at the wrong time, and it does suck. And it's Rob, that's a great point. I haven't heard anybody bring up the fact that the top 3 running backs all
are it's an artificial cap on the market.
Right.
And I'm not saying they deserve more. My God, $10 million for being anything is pretty damn good. But in the grand scheme of monopoly money professional sports, I've never seen a position just get whacked off at the roots. Like, you know what? We got screwed with the wide receiver because we didn't see it coming. If Green Bay would have just franchised his ass, everything would have worked out. We wouldn't be paying through the nose for Kareem Hunt. We wouldn't be paying through the nose for all these dudes if they'd have just seen it coming. So, know what we're going to do? We see running back coming, franchise those guys.
Glenn, you're right. They would have only won 6 games. I get it. Everything Saquon said in this 2-minute diatribe was correct. You're right. They fixed the market. It is what it is, man. Receivers are next.
They've tried to put a rope on it, and they're going to pull everything back to fit the the modern economic idea. But I hate the idea when billionaires build something in to protect themselves from themselves. I don't like that's a salary cap.
I think you should have been like the keyboard player, the drummer for Rage Against the Machine. Like
I'm not angry,
but I like it. I'm with you. But we both should have been in Rage Against the Machine, because anytime college billionaires, you have no time for their woe is me.
No, never. And poor Saquon. Can you imagine? You go talk to your agent, and your agent's like, well, this and that, but no matter what, this is all you can do. You either go home or sign this. There's no in between. There's not wait it out, because they're willing to wait. They are willing to wait on you.
Right.
Hey, coming back, this is a special day.
Why is that?
Because it's on this day. It's on this day, this Tuesday. We tell you what's happened on this day, the 13th of June, and the week that follows. Every week, hold on tight. We go back to the future and forward to the past, or however we do that stuff. You're on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and SASportsStar.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up
at 2 on the Blitz, Shireen Williams joins us to talk a little Cowboys football and, well, a little football in general. I'm going to sit down with Terry Bradshaw, the Blonde Bomber. He'll join us on the Blitz starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, Joe Calvi here for Mother's Window Tint. You know, I started the company back in 1984. And just recently I went on vacation out to Arizona and I got to rent a car. And let me tell you something. It absolutely was brutal out there in the sun with a car with no window tint. You're going to have window tint in your car if you come to Mother's Window Tint because we've got the best films money can buy. We have films that will stop more heat than any other, and we can prove it. Over 60 films in stock on most days. You're going to be able to do more than just pick light, medium, and dark, but we've got it all. You're going to have a beautiful window tint when we're done with your car, and we sell the greatest alarm systems to help you protect yourself and your family. Car stereos, make your car go thump, 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 mother thump. Mother's Window Tint in Austin and San Antonio. Check out our addresses on the web at motherswindowtint.com. And remember, do it at Mothers and save.
O'Reilly. Win the battle against rust and corrosion with PB Blaster at O'Reilly Auto Parts. PB Blaster quickly busts loose rusted, corroded, or frozen parts. PB Blaster is great for everything from bolts to frozen locks. Right now, pick up an 11-ounce bottle of PB Blaster for just $6.99, plus get 2 times O Rewards points. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I think my battery's dead.
With free battery testing and charging, AutoZone is here to help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
What if I need a new one?
We have the right batteries right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone.
And what if I don't know how to connect it?
No problem. We have a how-to for you at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
He might not have a badge, but we have faith in his killer instinct. Celebrate the 10th anniversary of famed detective priest, Father Brown. Stream the new season now, only on BritBox.
That sounds like a marvelous plan.
Plus, watch even more unofficial detectives in much-loved series, including Agatha Christie's Marple, Murder in Provence, and more. Expect intriguing mystery. Expect the Undetectives. Start streaming today at BritBox.com.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Hi, April Ansira here from the Ansira Auto Group.
And I'm Danielle Gunter, Executive Director of Texas Yes, here to tell you about Drive Away for Education raffle.
With your purchase of a raffle ticket, you'll be directly benefiting students and schools across the state. And the winner will choose from a new Chevy, Nissan, Jeep, Volkswagen, or Kia. Sponsored by the Ansira Auto Group.
Purchase your raffle ticket today at texasyesproject.org. Winner responsible for tax, title, and license and federal withholding tax.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Dazzling decal on Daisy's Donuts window. Bold banner at Barry's Barbershop. Prominent poster at Penny's on Park Place.
This is your sign. Well, signs. To try Staples and see the difference. Get $15 off signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more.
From Staples, and I couldn't miss it.
N617. Visit staplesconnect.com/printbig for details.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering.
Instant Cash Offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets.
The Denver Nuggets have finally done it.
The 2023 NBA Finals champion. The Nuggets win the NBA Finals for the first time in Nugget team history. No joke. The Joker wins the MVP. And you heard it here all season long on your exclusive home for the NBA. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's R&R in the morning.
Good morning, everybody. Joe Reinagle here. Coming up at 2 on the Blitz, I get a chance to sit down with Terry Bradshaw of Fox fame and, of course, Pittsburgh Steeler fame. Looking forward to talking with Terry. Hey, Rudy. I'll bring that beer in today.
Sure he will.
No rush, Joe. You good. You good for it, man.
And Joe,
don't even worry about it. He could talk to Bradshaw today, your favorite analyst on the Fox Sports panel.
He get here today at 2:00 for the Blitz. Jason Minnick says, due back mañana, sun-tanned and rested and relaxed after a little getaway. It's Tuesday. We got a couple minutes. Let's do this on this day. Little mailbox money for, what's his name, Edwin?
David Pomerantz.
David Pomerantz. We like to celebrate things that happened on this date, or at least this week in sports history. Did you know, back in 1935, 10-1 underdog James J. Braddock, that would soon be, at one point, be portrayed by a man that is a very handsome, a dashing actor, beat Max Baer in a 15-round unanimous points decision in Madison Square Garden for the world heavyweight boxing title.
Didn't know that one.
You don't know the guy that I'm talking about at all. You don't know the movie or
no. That's why I'm looking at it right now, but I'm like, no, doesn't ring a bell, Rob.
It was a fight movie. The guy that played him played in he was a gladiator. I have been mistaken for him on a couple of occasions. I think he's a handsome man. A fine-looking gentleman. Did that help? You have no idea.
No.
Gladiator. That normally comes on. That normally comes on after Saturday Night Live. Russell Crowe, man. Russell Crowe played James J. Braddock.
Your twin. I can't believe I missed that.
See, I have one small claim to fame is I look like an actor who got fat. And once he did.
In Gladiator, he wasn't fat.
But I didn't get mistaken for him when he looked like Gladiator. I got mistaken for him when he discovered carbohydrates. He was doing American Gangster and doing cops, sitting and doing all kinds of other stuff so my small claim to fame. Yeah, that was back in 1935 on this day.
U.S. Open is this week, Rob. 1991.
1991 comes to mind. U.S. Open.
Spectator killed by lightning at the U.S. Open.
Struck by lightning.
So did they stop the tournament and not play anymore?
No, we carried on.
That's awful.
Well,
I
mean,
what do you mean?
Fans get killed at events all the time.
Yeah,
we didn't stop baseball games when an 8-year-old took one across the nose from a broken bat. We don't stop then.
Fair.
In 1957, Ted Williams became the first ALer to have 2 3-home run games in a season. His head's in some kind of frozen.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I remember Jim Rome used to always talk about that. Like once a week, he would talk about Ted Williams' head being frozen. Is it somewhere like in Arizona?
Yeah, they. For those who are unaware, there was a brief amount of time where there was this faction that felt like, I can be, when we come to the medical technology, I can be brought back. So there was this company down in Arizona who separated his head from his body and froze it.
Who allows that? The state doesn't have any say in that?
Well, I think, yeah.
Who in Ted's family didn't say, hey, no, we're not doing this? I would think you need a signature for that.
I would think so. And then there's just the power bills from now on.
True.
I guess you're either paying for the electric bill or flowers every week.
True.
On this day,
Mm-hmm.
back in 1953, at the Oakmont, Ben Hogan wins his record-tying 4th U.S. Open title, 6 strokes ahead of runner-up Sam Snead. You want to talk about murderer's row?
I know. You know, they actually had to play against real competition, unlike Tiger.
Not a very friendly time in history is June 13th for fans.
Wow.
Back in 1955, Mercedes racing car killed 77 people at Le Mans, France, when it wrecked and went into the stands. 77 people died at a car race at Le Mans. The 24 hours
but
of Le
I'm
Mans.
just wondering, how did it kill 77?
A car went into the stands, a fire ensued.
Lord. Oh, damn, that's awful.
On this day, back in 1959,
is there anything above 75 today?
Well, I mean, there hadn't been a lot happening on June the 13th.
I guess not.
It's bad luck. The 13th, probably on a Friday when all that happened.
Right.
Bill Shoemaker.
Don't know him.
He was when I was growing up, there was only one jockey. Seemed like Shoemaker was on every horse. In 59, Bill Shoemaker aboard Sword Dancer won his very first Belmont. That was the 91st Belmont. That was Bill Shoemaker. We will continue on this day. We have LPGA news as well. But when we come back on the other side, we got some real sports to talk about. And that involves a basketball player in France and a former basketball player for the Pacers. They're both skinny and both have opinions on Greg Popovich. We're talking Spurs. We're talking Wemby. That's next. You're on R&R, and this is San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM and SASportsStar.com.
Your home for Rob and Rudy. It's R&R in the morning on YouTube, SASportsStar.com. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The Denver Nuggets are NBA champions in their first trip to the finals. Big fella, the Joker, wins finals MVP, averaging 30, 14, and 7, shooting 58% from the field. Wemby is one loss away from losing the Pro A LNB finals. They'll play that final game in Roland Garros, the site of the French Open, on Thursday. And the Texans are putting J.J. Watt in the Ring of Honor. Is it too soon? They should have waited? R&R in the morning rolls on.
Sports Center is brought to you by BraintreeNutrition.com. Better sleep, more focus. BraintreeNutrition.com.
It's 0600. What's the O stand for? Oh my God, it's early.
Wake me up, wake me up, wake up, wake up, wake me up. So wake me up, wake up.
Rob Thompson.
Ginobili the other way in transition to the left hand slam. I want some nasty.
Rudy J.
Cowboys win. How else would you settle this game?
Begin each day as if it were on purpose.
I wake up in the morning, I piss excellent.
R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
It's R&R here on San Antonio Sports Star. Rudy J. Rob Thompson sitting comfortably in an air-conditioned glass box of fun studio. Easy E on the other side. We're going till 10 o'clock, so don't go nowhere. So we finished the last NBA season, and we ended the NBA era that will be known as
what?
VW+1. The
VW.
Victor Wembanyama era begins next year. What was is no more. There is
true
before death, or BC before Christ, and AD after death. This will be VW. This will be post VW. As he arrives.
It ain't even been 24 hours. We just like, bye, Denver.
It's time to jump on.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a true side of
well,
that's when you're a different fan. Like, you was like, yo, all right, I know Denver. I know the champagne ain't even dry. And we're like, all right.
We'll allow the Midwest and the higher states
on
to continue to party. I'm not expecting them to listen, but for those of us that have other things to do, we need to carry on. Wembanyama might be carrying on for just one more game. He looks like his team, the old 92s or whatever they're called.
The Metropolitan 92s.
About to get exited from the
Monacos. The Monacos. I don't know their mascot.
I don't know, like a dollar sign or a gold
I would think it's like a F1 car.
Maybe an F1 car, a Mahjong chip.
Yeah, who knows? But they're down 2-0 in whatever the Pro A LNB is.
Now, I know that this is not the highest level of professional basketball, but I would like to think that if you manage to get a contract to play for the Cannes basketball team there and have your home games there on the French Riviera, not a bad gig.
No, I mean you playing,
Not a bad place to be playing basketball.
Roland Garros is, historic venue.
So they get an opportunity to exit him, and
you ever been to Italy or France?
I've been to Paris.
But, it was your honeymoon, right?
Well, yeah, kind of
Been
around
to
there.
Paris. Okay,
But
I said Italy.
big city. Big.
Like Houston, big.
Yeah,
or Dallas, big.
Big.
Okay.
Both big, much bigger than
you
thought.
could fit the Eiffel Tower.
But the thing about it's not a tall city. I mean, you can see the Eiffel Tower from everywhere.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's like it's not like our cities where you see like in the distance this skyline. It's not like that.
Got you.
Anyway, Victor Wembanyama, he's 7'5", weighs about $105, $110.
9'11" wingspan, whatever. All of that.
The expectations are huge. And what I find interesting is the old guys, the old players who throw kind of expectations on young players. And Reggie Miller is a man of opinions, for sure.
Like all of
What's
us.
the podcast you were sitting on? Who's he talking to? Do we know?
I didn't know. I thought it was on Dan Patrick.
Dan Patrick. That's right. He was sitting
show,
with Dan Patrick yesterday and had some thoughts on, first of all, let's
go there first.
Yeah, on Greg Popovich and also on expectations for Wemby. Reggie Miller's talking to Dan Patrick yesterday. Let's play some tape.
This will tell me a lot. Now, when Wemby comes to San Antonio, and if they are a top, I'll say 6 team, top 6. If they don't have to be in the play-in, that lets you know that's all Greg Popovich, right? Because they've been terrible the last few years. They've played hard, but they've been terrible. But now you're going to get Wemby. If they can be one of the top 6 teams in the West, it's got to be Greg Popovich.
That doesn't make sense to me. That's a weird. But Reggie's known for bad takes.
Yeah, so much of this.
Look, we all hold Hop in great regard. Whatever, I don't, all the accolades. But if you say someone's been bad for the last 3 years, and then they get a generational talent, and then they jump into the top 6, how is that all Greg Popovich? I'm lost.
Well, I think what he's trying to say is that maybe the game has passed Pop by, and that he's been part of the reason.
It was a low-key diss.
That part of the reason that the Spurs have been awful the last couple of years hasn't just been young and lack of talent. That, quite frankly, the game isn't what Coach Pop wants.
So it was a diss.
So
okay,
if
now
he
I get
gets
it.
a Wemby, and in Reggie's eyes, this is a team with enough talent to be better. And then with the addition of Wemby, they better be a 6 seed or better, because the only thing that should be holding them back now, because they have Wemby and Keldon and Devin and however else you want to quantify all this, this is a playoff caliber team with the talent. And if they don't make it, it's Pop's fault. That's the way I took it.
Well, now I get it. There was a diss.
Yes,
so
it was a diss.
So basically saying they've been bad for 3 years because of Pop, and now they jump in the top 6. That's all because, Pop hasn't been as good. But I mean, I don't. Not even Spo, since that's the, he's the, the talk of the town right now, alongside of Mike Malone. But who you could put Phil Jackson on the sideline, Steve Kerr, name a great coach, Larry Brown, all on this staff, this Spurs staff, and they still would have won 20 games.
Right?
I don't know what Reggie's talking about.
We know that this team
was a part of the plan, Reggie.
Didn't have it. And then there was some intentional not having it as well. And that doesn't play into the game of strategery. That just because they got Wemby doesn't mean that the process is done. So the expectation from Reggie was, all right, this team's been put together. You had Wemby, you better be in the second round of the playoffs. Well, no, I disagree there. But I do think what he's saying, there is some merit to. There is some merit to. As to the style of basketball that Pop is going to play. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be what he's done in the past. I don't know what he's bringing in, what the plan is. But it's going to have to change. What the Spurs have done before is going to have to be different just by the type of talent he's got. It's just a matter of how he decides to use it and whether we find it appropriate or not. But
But we've seen him win different ways.
Yes, I'm not discounting that.
No,
He
I know.
can't, but I do know that the eyes are going to be on him. And if if it is a healthy Spurs team and they're not winning for whatever reason, there are going to be some detractors that are going to say the game's passed him by, man. And this is just another year of several years that it's passed him by. And Reggie's starting it already.
You know what? I will take that from you because you're family.
But not
I'm
Reggie.
not taking that from Reggie.
And I'm not saying it.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. I'm just saying I'm not taking that from Reggie.
I agree.
Like you're not in this family. You can't say that. If you want to, I'm cool with that. Don Harris wants to say that. Edwin, Jason Minix, say that. Not Reggie Miller. You can't say that. You ain't a part of this family. This is a family argument. You stay your ass out of it, Reggie. And I don't agree with Reggie either side. Whether I interpreted it before or now where I get the full interpretation. Like, no, go away, Reggie.
Now, I could be wrong. That's just the way I took it.
No,
from him.
now
He's
that I hear it again, he basically just said, like, look, if they go from awful into the 6th seed and they don't need to play in, then we could blame the last 3 years on Pop. That's how I'm interpreting it now. I guess it just depends. I guess I'd have to ask Reggie.
In your sports center, this is kind of tangent to it.
What's up?
Spurs lost development coach.
Yes, they lost their Ben Sullivan, who joined the Spurs in 2012 as a video intern following the vote of confidence from Udoka. So Udoka was like, dude, I got you your job in 2012. Come to Houston. And Sullivan said, sure.
You know, he's been part of the developmental squad.
He took Missoula's whole staff. Now he's taking ours.
I don't know what role the guy played, but I'm not happy about it. He's played a role in the development from Keldon and Devin and everybody else over the last decade. So
yeah, there's something about video coordinators getting to understand the game better and then working their way up. I mean, I think Spo started that way.
Yeah,
right.
That's the way he started back in that back room.
What did Reggie say about Wemby? He said we waited to say. What did he say?
Let's talk about the frame next as Reggie reflected on it. Yeah, Wemby's skinny. This is what Reggie sees.
I saw an analyst who said that if Wembanyama is like Akeem and Kevin Durant and one other person, that would be a disappointment for his career.
Who said
that? I would say that.
I would too.
Kevin Durant? If this kid is a mixture of that, my only concern is he looks like me at 7'5". Knock on wood. I knock on wood, I was rarely injured throughout my 18-year, only ankle injuries. But I played on the perimeter. I'm not banging with the big boys. But it's not as physical as it was in the 80s and 90s. So he won't be banged up like those days. I just hope he doesn't get hurt. Right? I pray he stays healthy. If he stays healthy, and everything I've seen on videotape, everything I've seen in scouting reports, if he plays like that, the future is his.
That is Reggie Miller on Dan Patrick yesterday discussing the Spurs' imminent first-round pick, Victor Wembanyama. And what a valid point. The game's different.
That was my biggest beef, saying like, look, if we're going to be worried about him, don't draft him. But the thing about it is you got Joker, you got Giannis, you got Embiid. And AD and even AD is more finesse. It's not, you're not banging. It's a finesse game. It's a 3-point shooting game. His game fits right in. And not only that, Rob, even in games where they say there is some banging going on, we're not going to make Wemby do it. We're putting Wemby on the worst offensive player on the other team and let him hang out and get to the rim and help block shots. They're not putting Wemby on Embiid.
And I wonder.
Well, maybe they will.
Well, he is my brother yesterday driving in, and my brother likes to go to the summer league. He's gone to the summer league a couple times.
The Vegas one?
Yeah, the Vegas summer
got
league.
you.
And I asked him, have you thought about going again this year? And he's like, well, I thought about it, but I wasn't sure about Wemby. And now that I checked again, and rooms are through the roof and all this. And that was my question about Vegas and the importance of Wemby. Is it just us as Spurs fans, or is the rest of the NBA really looking at Wemby as, the next and is already this viable star? Is he already?
He's already
this superstar.
Because the thing about it is, because it's 50-50, Rob. 50% of us like, oh my God, I can't wait to see them. He's going to be so great. Then the other 50% can't wait to see, like I told y'all, he's too big. I mean, he's too tall. He's too soft. He's going to get hurt. Like, so you need that.
Well,
to be a superstar, you need love and you need hate. And I don't think it's hate as far as guys, sports guy just wants to be right about like, oh no, that frame can't hold up. So you got that guy waiting in the wings to be able to tell everybody, I told y'all.
Not that it's real, but it is real. Do you think he'll get star treatment from the refs as a rookie?
No,
because that's going to matter. Because if he doesn't, then every team's going to come for him.
Not right away.
Yeah, I don't think he should.
No, I don't either. But I don't think he will right away anyway. And not only that, where he's at now is way more physical than what he's coming to. It's going to be a little bit easier for him. We've heard this from international stars.
A little bit more space.
Right.
But I do think if I'm guarding him, what do you do? I mean, all you can do is lean on him and beat on him.
You can't beat on him. He plays on the perimeter.
Well, I mean, that's the problem, right?
So if he plays on the perimeter, you beat on him, it's a foul. Cool.
But if you try to post me up, he's getting an elbow to the back of the thigh. I'll take his knees out.
Yeah, I'll give him a Charlie horse.
Because that's about where my elbow is going to be if I get switched up on him.
I'll definitely give him a Charlie horse.
You saw what Bam did last night to Joker. I mean, it was just if you're allowed to do that to Wemby, yeah, he's gonna ain't gonna make it.
But Wemby ain't trying to go down there in the land of the dogs.
Never at all. Reggie, settle down, bro. He don't look like you. More to talk about with the finals. As the finals are done, how much of a Joker does the NBA need to step forward and be a star? Because it doesn't look like Joker wants to have any part of any of this now that the season is done. I think he had to be warned about that. Joker speaks, so does Bam. We're going to look at the championship, how they got here. The NBA finals are done. We'll figure out how Denver did it and what Miami can do to get themselves back. You're on R&R, and this is San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and SASportsStar.com. I know it's starting to get hot, and I'll tell you what, the heat plays as much damage on your roof, it seems like, than the rain and the storms can. After years and years of super high heat, frozen weather, rain and hail and everything that goes into it, your roof eventually starts to wear out. And we know over the last couple of years, it's been difficult. Lots of issues. Supply chain issues, expenses, and the like. Well, let me tell you, now's the time to consider a new roof and adding value and beauty to your home, and you need to call Roofix to do it. They've got a variety of programs right now to get you going. How about not having to worry about any of, the upfront expenses, up to $2,500 available in, you're paying all that extra kind of money. Maybe you need a little bit of time. With approved credit, you can go several years without paying any of your deductible. You got some deductible help, and you're dealing with Roofix. The bottom line is, if you've been putting a new roof on your home, you've been putting off adding value. And if you need to do that now, there's no better time than calling Roofix. Their experts are available, whether it be an emergency or not. They'll work you through the insurance process. They'll make sure that the deductible is either taken care of or financed in a way that you can get the roof on your home in a valuable amount of time. They are the home of the low price guarantee. See, Roofix is one of the fastest growing companies in San Antonio, and they've already been around for 40 years. You know why they continue to grow? Because when you deal with them, you deal with honest folks. They're the home of the low price guarantee. They'll make sure that you're taken care of not only from now to the finish of the project, but from now until you move to your next house. Dwayne's not going anywhere. Put this number in your phone, 210-FIX-ROOF. You got a guy in the business. You got an expert. Whether it's an emergency or time to upgrade, whether it's time for solar, a brand new metal roof, or getting a roof redone after a storm, put 210-FIX-ROOF in your phone and know this. Fix-Roof is here for you. Call them when you need them. They'll take care of you. And when they do, I want you to thank me later.
He loves sports. He loves talking about sports. And just like you, he's got a lucky jersey that hasn't been washed since the Cardinals last won a World Series.
I've been sitting here for 3 days, okay? You smell like wet garbage and hot urine.
He's Joe Reinagle, afternoons at 2 with The Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Guys, did you know that June is Men's Health Month? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T level is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your hormones are serious business, and most men start to see changes in their hormone levels starting in their 30s. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Get your T levels checked today by a local, experienced, and trusted healthcare professional. Revive Men's Health has successfully helped thousands of men since 2011. Experience and results matter. So, what are you waiting for? Call Revive today to schedule your free testosterone test and free exam. We know we can help you. We guarantee it. Celebrate Men's Health Month. Get your free T-level test and save $199. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
My name is John. I could not lose the weight I needed to. The Institute for Functional Health Wellness Program was the answer. It included a great deal of testing, supplements, and weekly face-to-face doctor visits. I finally had the accountability I needed. I am now 50 pounds lighter. I no longer have pain in my elbow, back, and hips. I have more energy and just feel and look so much better.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
We're here with Jose of the Gomez Law Firm. Jose, tell us a little about what makes the Gomez Law Firm different from all the other law firms in our area.
You know, we pride ourselves as being an open line of communications. We don't have an automated service. You're not going to ever dial our phone number and get some robot on the other line. You're always going to get a person 24/7. Our principal office is here in San Antonio, and we don't only say principal office because our main office is here. We say it because, again, Mr. Gomez was born and raised here, practicing law here in San Antonio in his community for almost 50 years. There are not many attorneys that can say that. If you've been injured, if you've been involved in an accident, you've been involved in a car wreck, call the Gomez Law Firm. We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
There's never been a better time to get that engagement ring or fine diamond jewelry. Right now at Diamonds Direct, our most exciting offer ever. You can get instant savings up to $5,000 off any purchase or enjoy special financing for up to 5 whole years. Either way, you save big. You can't miss this limited time offer. Design your perfect ring and get our most gorgeous and most flexible financing options. Now through June 30th at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get details, store hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
You can talk low carb all you want, but if you don't have a lineup of great tasting snacks behind you, you're not going to win the keto game. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds are high protein and low carb. Plus, they're low sugar, gluten-free, and naturally loaded in collagen. So it is a no-brainer. Get the bold flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at H-E-B and online at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
Southern Recipe pork rinds.
Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets.
The Denver Nuggets have finally done it.
The 2023 NBA Finals champion. The Nuggets win the NBA Finals for the first time in Nugget team history. No joke. The Joker wins the MVP. And you heard it here all season long on your exclusive home for the NBA. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
So I'm curious what you are feeling right now, and if you're looking forward to a parade coming up in Denver.
When is parade? When is parade?
Thursday.
No.
No.
I need to go home.
That's Yoke. He's got a flight to catch post game. They're asking him what the plans are, and he's headed back to Serbia as fast as he can go.
Well, remember, to end his interview, that was Salter, right? I don't want to be saying that. That was Lisa Salter.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. The last thing he said was, well, the job's finished. Now I can go home. So he talked about going home twice last night. No emotion, no nothing. Just get me the hell out of here. Like, it seemed like a relief more than a relief to be done with, more than it was a relief to finally get a title.
What do you think the NBA feels about? I mean, no, let the man be. But this is an NBA title. This is a championship, and the best player in the world is trying to get back to his horse farm in Serbia and disappear.
Who better to talk about this than us? And I feel for Denver fan, because we all know. Look, and this is what I'll say, Denver. Enjoy the titles are more important than you getting to see Joker at CVS. Like, we just never really saw Tim. We didn't know. To this day, I don't think we know Tim. It is what it is, and it sucks sometimes because, the way he retired, then he just shows up at some little coffee table in the Bahamas doing his little exit interview. A part of it sucks for you as a fan, but I'll take the 5 titles over knowing Tim Duncan.
Absolutely.
So it sucks, but at the same time, it's just like, yo, man, it just is what it is. I don't think anybody can speak to this better than the Spurs, because again, there's Tim and then there's Joker. I think Joker Tim at least acted happy after the titles and smiled. The Joker smile. The only time he didn't smile after that final horn until his wife came down with his daughter. That was the first time I saw him smile. Then he didn't smile again. Then he just said he didn't want to go to the parade. So I think he has Tim beat, but just enjoy the titles, Denver.
Yeah, and enjoy being overlooked for a couple years. If you only win one, you'll just fall into the, oh yeah, they won category. But get used to being overlooked.
Do you think, you know what though? I think because social media is ramped up so much, I think even though he's very, he's the guy that won any limelight, we give it to him anyway. Like, Joker's been on First Take and Get Up, as far as his name, all year long. And really for the last 3 years, because he went back-to-back MVPs, probably in some people's eyes should have won again this year. When we were coming up, these shows hadn't taken off just yet, and social media was already there, but it wasn't like it is today. So I don't think he'll be overlooked the way we were, because it's an all-day hype machine.
Yeah, I agree with you. There is a certain level of coverage that the Spurs were never a benefit of. They never got the social media current to kind of cover, because there was no social media.
Not like this.
I certainly think it helps the NBA kind of promote Yoke as this international player, because social media doesn't have a border. I mean, TV had borders because of the language and all that, but social media is going to float wherever it might be. So I do think they're going to get a little bit more love. But I do also at the same time feel like we're already looking for next. And I don't know if that's San Antonio. I don't know if it's us, if it's looking toward Wemby, but I just feel like Denver better bring it next year. This is one of those one-time kind of deals, and we'll look back and go, oh yeah, remember when Yoke won that thing? Remember when that happened? I don't think that's the case.
No. I see what you're saying, especially if it just ends up being one and some unfortunate things happen or somebody comes and catches them. But right now, when I really look at the landscape of the West, when I look at Phoenix, are they going to do enough in the offseason to be able to beat Denver? I don't think so. Maybe Golden State, it looks like their time is winding down as well, because Clay is washed right now over the next 3 to 4 seasons, and Jamal Murray's only going to get better. Michael Porter Jr., he's not going to always play this bad. Aaron Gordon loves his Andre Iguodala role. So I could see that. Look, I don't know. I'm not going to throw dynasty out there. I don't like being premature with that. But I would predict they could win 2 titles out of the next 4 years. Bonafide dynasty, but that's what the road leads through the Mile High City.
Well, Yoke spoke to the difficulty of the season and how he got where he is. Let's hear from him.
If you want to be successful, you need a couple of years. You need to be a bad, then you need to be the good, and then you need to when you're good, you need to fail, and then when you fail, you're gonna figure it out. I think the experience is something that is not what happened to you, is what you're gonna do with that. What happened to you, and. Yes, Jamal was injured. Yes, we lose the first round or second round in the playoff. I don't even remember who who remembers. But there is a process that you need to. There is a steps that you need to fill, and there is no shortcuts. It's a journey, and I'm glad that I'm part of this journey.
Lowest draft pick to ever win Finals MVP. Now he's the third player to win Finals MVP from the second round, but he's the lowest drafted player ever to win a Finals MVP.
And I'm trying to come up with the other two.
Yeah.
Parker? No,
Parker was first round. And Ginobili never won a Finals MVP.
No, he didn't. Second round draft pick to win MVP. That's what the Kielbasa Smoke phone line is for. 656-3776. Man, it must have been something a long time ago.
It had to have been in the 60s.
Back when they were still wearing canvas Chuck Taylors. Hey, coming back, let's talk a little bit of football. Deion Sanders and Pat Narduzzi of Pitt.
I love it.
Hip deep, and we love it. How do you recruit, and whether you're stealing people's players? We're talking about Sanders and Narduzzi, head coach at Pitt, head coach at Colorado. They don't like each other. We'll get into it next. This is R&R, and you're on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hey, Joe Calvi here for Mother's Window Tint. You know, I started the company back in 1984, and just recently I went on vacation out to Arizona, and I got to rent a car. And let me tell you something, it absolutely was brutal out there in the sun with a car with no window tint. You're going to have window tint on your car if you come to Mother's Window Tint, because we've got the best films money can buy. We have films that will stop more heat than any other, and we can prove it. Over 60 films in stock on most days. You're going to be able to do more than just pick light, medium, and dark, but we've got it all. You're going to have a beautiful window tint when we're done with your car, and we sell the greatest alarm systems to help you protect yourself and your family. Car stereos, make your car go thump, 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 mother thump. Mother's Window Tint in Austin and San Antonio. Check out our addresses on the web at motherswindowtint.com, and remember, do it at Mothers and save.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs, ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you, with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Meet Joe A, Joe B, and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with autosave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Gentle with the nail trimmers. You mustn't nip the quick.
Short-staffed, Marco needs to fetch some help now.
The poodle has to look like a bear. Scruffy to fluffy.
He needs a groomer that will be the bark of the town.
Please hold. Has anyone groomed a chinchilla before?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
All guests appearing on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star appear on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, good morning to you.
Top of the morning to everyone.
This is R&R on the Star. Rudy and Rob with you. College football is under 100 days away.
Good Lord.
And one of the biggest changes in the sport will be the addition of Deion Sanders as the head coach of your Colorado Buffaloes. And when he arrived up there in Boulder, changes came quickly as he told the team, if you think you're going to stay here, you're going to earn it. If not, you should transfer away. Go ahead and put your name in the NIL. And he has brought in 42 new scholarship players on top of signing new recruits. He has completely redone his franchise or his college team. Pat Narduzzi, the head coach of Pittsburgh. It's been a couple of weeks ago, right? This wasn't initially. I think I read this about 2 weeks ago. Narduzzi told 247 Sports about how he was opposed to Sanders and how the transfer portal was not meant to be used the way that he's using it. That's not what the rule intended to be, he said. It was not to overhaul your roster. We'll see how it works out, but to me, it looks bad on college football and coaches across the country. The reflection is on one guy right now, but when you look at it overall, those kids have moms and dads and brothers and sisters and goals in life. I don't know how many of those 70 that left really wanted to leave or they were kicked in the butt on their way out.
First of all, Pat Narduzzi isn't the only guy, person, let's just say person that feels this way. I mean, I know people on our station that hate the transfer portal and everything that is brought upon. I know, Coach Traylor's, it's a whole new dynamic to the coaching aspect in college football. But, it to me with the transfer portal NIL, Rob, it's like it's when in Rome. And especially if you're taking over a brand new program, I mean, we see it because right now we're pretty much playing pro sports at the college level. In pro sports, heads roll when a new regime comes in. And it does suck for those kids that he was told, hey, some of y'all might as well hit the portal because I brought my own luggage and it's Louis. Yes, it does suck for those kids. I'm not disagreeing with Narduzzi there, and he ain't the only person saying it, but it just looks bad when you single out Deion.
Yes, I think
that's the problem. If he would have just said, you got some schools that whatever, and you could have been indirectly talking about Deion, but when you single out Colorado like they're the only people take advantage of the portal, I think the magnitude of what Deion did, it maybe is why, but it just looks bad. But this is also a guy that lost Jordan Addison to USC and called Lincoln Riley personally
to rip him.
Yeah, to say, hey, dude, how much money did you offer Jordan Addison? He was the best receiver in the country that he lost. So he's been directly affected by it. Well, who hasn't?
It's change, and as such, we fear it. To quantify right and wrong doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, whether it's wrong when a new coach shows up and you feel like you need to leave, well, hell, you get new bosses all the time. I get the upset part of the players, and having been in there and having to deal with holding on to your scholarship and the 1-year renewable. I know that sucks, but that's part of the gift of adversity. You don't have to play college sports. You can go on home.
All right, Spo, calm down.
You know what I mean?
caught that.
I get what Narduzzi's saying. I do.
He ain't the only person feels that
and
way,
I
Rob.
get it, and I understand it, but it's not right or wrong. It's just different. And because it's different doesn't mean you should be afraid of it. Embrace it. That's why we're singling Prime out, because he saw it and go, I can make some money doing this. If I can just, on the force of my personality, I'm worth 30 stars. That's maybe it's 9 4-stars, or 8 4-stars, or maybe it's 5 5-stars, but I bring stars to schools. So I arrive, so do transfers. I am taking advantage of it.
Do you think he really cares about the kids that got kicked out, or is he upset at the fact that because Pittsburgh, and I don't know their situation, I don't follow them like that. I would think though, outside looking in, they're a school that doesn't have the funds of a USC, or doesn't have the funds that now Colorado has now that Deion is there. And it affects him more than not because he doesn't have that money. Even when he does land a 4 or 5-star, a good chance that somebody's going to come in and offer more money. I feel like the guys without the big bank hate this.
I think so.
But he tried to act like he cared about the Colorado kids.
Well, I do think that's some thought to the kids, but let me tell you, Narduzzi sent some kids home himself.
Not 70.
Narduzzi, well, I mean, whether it's 5 or 70, you can't say, the poor kids. Dude, you've done it to kids yourself. Whether it was only 5 of them, you had to look at some kids and say, there's no place for you here. You've done it. And now whether it was 70 of them in a row or 5 of them, there's some, sometimes it's just no place for you here. But given this, we all know that there's a problem, that there are tweaks to come. And I think everybody, even Deion, would go, yeah, this is probably a little outrageous. We need to kind of rein some stuff in. But I've already gotten mad at the idea of an artificial cap being placed on running backs because of some franchise deal, and the market can't move because you put something that didn't exist in. Well, I don't want to cap the transfer rule. I think you should be like any other human being. You shouldn't be bound any longer than they're bound to you. And if they don't want you, I should be able to cross the street and go play someplace else. That's a firm belief. I don't think that'll go anywhere. But how many, maybe it's a ratio of guys on your team. You just can't lose more than, you can't send 70, you can send 20.
Okay, but let's say Deion brought in whatever. He brought in 40 guys from the portal. Now they can no longer use a portal. Now they have to sit out.
Now
they're
stuck. Yeah.
See, no one talks about that part of it. But the question of this segment is, Rob, if Narduzzi walked through these halls right now, would you know who he is?
No. He's the head coach at Pitt.
Well, he was at Michigan State, wasn't he?
Oh, he's been around. I know the name. I know he's a great defensive
I'm just having
coach.
fun with the fact that Deion said if he walked in here right now, wouldn't know. But Deion, in fairness to Narduzzi, what does that have to do with his take?
Well, I think
what does that have to do with this take?
I think we were measuring something right there.
Oh, okay.
I think that was like, all right, big boy, want to step up to the podium?
Now, remember last season, Saban went after Deion. Well, you got Deion down there giving the DB, the number 1 DB in the country, $1 million. And then now it's Narduzzi. Seems like Deion's a bit of a target.
Narduzzi said, when you become a head coach, you inherit that team and you coach that team. If someone wants to leave, that's great. You don't kick them out. I disagree with the whole process. That's not why I got in the game. Deion got in the game to mold young men. Yes, just like you did. Deion also got in the game to win as many championships as he possibly freaking can. Maybe you didn't.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a Deion guy. I didn't like the tone and the clip that they posted from him talking to the kid. I felt like that should have been something. And I know, look, Deion knows the era he's in. He knows he has to use social media. He's done a fantastic job of using social media and connecting with the kids since he was at Jackson State. But a conversation that harsh, even, as far as, yes, it's real life. It is what it is. It's big boy sports, and sometimes heads roll. But I felt like that should have been kept behind closed doors. I didn't like that. I didn't. And I'm a Deion guy, but I didn't like that Colorado allowed that. Deion allowed that conversation to leak.
Who's that friend of the show, the linebacker we have on all the time? Chad
Brown.
Chad Brown. It was before Dion got hired. We'd had Chad on, or right after he got hired. And I congratulated him. And Chad's response was about his alma mater was like, man, I haven't been paying attention to them. I mean, that was
before we talked to Dion, he hated Colorado. He didn't want to talk about it.
Right,
Then
didn't want to bring it up.
Excited.
So it showed me that this was a program on life support that was near dying. And I think Dion got there and said, I need to apply those, what are those paddles when they shocked, the clear.
Yeah.
I think that was one of those clear moments because he went on TV and we've been talking about Colorado ever since. But he needed to have that moment where they shocked the patient back into life. And I think it was him telling everybody about what was it? My luggage is Louis and it ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. Y'all might as well, he said, some of y'all better hit that portal because I brought my own luggage and it's Louis.
Let me tell you, you might not like his style. You might not like it, but he understood the moment.
I had no problem with what he said.
But us knowing about it
I
is
was
the
like,
problem.
come on, man. Because everything's in 4K. I'm just looking at them dudes' faces. I'm like, damn.
It was.
You know what I mean?
brutal.
Like he pretty much walked in there and said, y'all suck. Y'all suck for a long time. And I'm gonna need most of y'all to get the hell out. Like, I didn't need to see that. And I love me some Dion. We all do, but that was a little bit excessive. Like some stuff belongs, like not everything needs to go on social media. And I'm a social media WHORE, but it's that I didn't need to see that. That was in bad taste on Dion's part, in my opinion.
I do want to defend Dion a little bit. I've always questioned his motives. I always have. From the moment, for those of you unaware, he started coaching a high school football team in Dallas that was kind of like one of those basketball teams that forms in the basement of a church, or you get a couple of GED computers, you put together a football team and get a bunch of guys scholarships. He did that with a football team called Prime Academy. And then,
I remember that.
And it kind of fell apart. There were some issues that happened. And it felt like this was more about Dion than it was about the kids. And then he went to Jacksonville. And I still, even when he first got there, Jackson State, excuse me, I felt like this feels like more about Dion than it does about Jackson State. It's more about Dion being a coach, and he happens to be at Jackson State. But as he went through at Jackson, and I saw what he did for the kids, remember last year when they were dealing with water issues and all that other kind of stuff? This guy is down for those kids. I believe as much as any coach who's ever gotten into the game.
He put a lot of his own money into Jackson
Absolutely,
State.
He did. I don't question his motives. I don't think it's all about him. I do think he likes to win and likes to be with a winning organization, but I do think he puts his kids first. I've changed my opinion about him over the many years because I've never run into anybody who ever worked with him on a football field that had anything negative to say about it.
You haven't?
Not one person about him coaching. I don't.
No, I haven't.
I've not run into one person, whether it's those that are involved with the historically black community. I mean, the universities that he was coaching in, never heard one negative word other than being out recruited and being a little upset about his bombastic nature, but nothing about, illicit or bad.
Right. No,
nothing. And I don't want it ever to be thought of that.
He holds his players to a high standard off the field.
Extraordinary high standard, which we expect. They're like Notre Dame. They go to class.
Let's go to break. It's so salty. You're going to make Stanford win the whole damn thing. You keep praising them.
And I shouldn't. They've kicked our ass too.
They beat Aggies
knocked the Aggies out last week. So welcome to the party, Texas. Oh, wait, where's some sunglasses? That ball's still falling. You're on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 F and SASportsStar.com. Petty nothing. I am skinny. I'm lean and mean. No, I'm a little petty. If you go to the Institute for Functional Health, they will tell you that I'm a little petty. One of the things about losing weight is consistency. Finding the way to do the right things over and over. It's easy to diet for a week. Hell, anybody can do that. And I know a lot of people have gone on juice fast for 2 or 3 days, and they did okay, but I'll tell you what, that weight came back. When I went to the Institute for Functional Health, one of the things that Dr. Torres warned me about is, look, man, this is not a quick fix. If you're trying to lose some weight for your high school reunion in a month, don't come here. There's other places to go. They're going to do something that ain't safe for you, and you'll drop weight and then add twice as much back later. Go there. Unless you're resolved and ready to lose some weight forever, that's when you go to the Institute for Functional Health. Because what Dr. Torres does is he puts together a program that is, first of all, based in medical science. There are tried and true, consistently proven methods to lose weight. That has never changed. You abide by that. But what Dr. Torres has added is the functional part of weight loss, this holistic approach to what your life should look like, both how you eat, how you live, how you sleep, and all those things that roll in to a healthy lifestyle that is easily attainable, one that I never thought I could do. Heck, I'm an afternoon DJ for 20 years. You think I was living an easy life or a healthy life? No, I wasn't. I met Dr. Torres, and he got things rolling. And it was the little changes that turned into big changes that really did it. That's why he's been so successful with thousands. Let me tell you, it's not that hard. It ain't the easiest thing I've ever done, but the results matter. I want you to find out more about what Dr. Torres does and why he's been so successful. The number is 210-468-1891. Free call. Let's sit down and talk with Dr. Torres, understand his methodology, why he believes and why he's been so successful. The website is iffhealth.com. Again, iffhealth.com. Read it, learn it, live it. Trust me, great website. Listen to me. If it's time to lose weight, don't mess around. Go with an expert. Go with one that has helped thousands. That's Dr. Torres, the Institute for Functional Health. Once you know and you see those successful weight loss days, I know you're going to be thanking me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up at 2 on The Blitz, Shireen Williams joins us to talk a little Cowboys football and, well, a little football in general. I'm going to sit down with Terry Bradshaw, the Blonde Bomber. He'll join us on The Blitz starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Meet Joe A, Joe B,
Hello.
and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with autosave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
O'Reilly.
Stay cool this summer with AC Pro and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get a $15 O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card after rebate plus 2 times O Rewards points with the purchase of select AC Pro ready-to-use refrigerant products that include a hose and gauge. If your vehicle's AC is blowing hot air, beat the heat with AC Pro at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At the Home Depot, we take Father's Day seriously. Why not get doing and give Dad a gift card that gets him out of the house and into new projects? Because the dads who do the most deserve the most, whether he's into woodworking, yard work, or grilling up something for the family. A Home Depot gift card gives your dad the power to get everything he needs to keep doing the most. Shop today for a gift that powers Dad at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey guys, this is Keenan Thompson. I have a problem with you. Yes, you. None of y'all told me that AutoTrader has millions of new and used cars that I can shop from home. I thought we were friends. I put smiles on your face, but I'm not smiling. No one told me that with AutoTrader, a dealer can deliver cars to my home or that I could shop by price on AutoTrader. No one. Consider this friendship that you just learned we had officially over. Finally, it's easy. AutoTrader.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and have been representing people injured in auto and commercial truck collisions right here in San Antonio, my hometown, since 1994. Getting into a collision can be a life-altering event. Your health and recovery is the only thing that really matters, and anyone that's ever been injured in a traffic collision will tell you that. How do you get the insurance company to pay? Simple. Call me. As your attorney, my job is to get you through this. The decisions you make immediately after a collision are the most important decisions you can make. If you call me as soon as you can after a collision, I will help you make the right decisions for you and your family. Remember, I do not charge for a consultation. Growing up on the southwest side of San Antonio, when Loop 410 was the edge of town, I know how overwhelming it could be to face a giant insurance company all on your own. Just keep it simple. Call me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website at lawyerforus.com.
There's never been a better time to get that engagement ring or fine diamond jewelry. Right now at Diamonds Direct, our most exciting offer ever. You can get instant savings up to $5,000 off any purchase or enjoy special financing for up to 5 whole years. Either way, you save big. You can't miss this limited time offer. Design your perfect ring and get our most gorgeous and most flexible financing options now through June 30th at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get details, store hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
Joel, I'm proud to introduce my latest in-summer relaxation relief occasion. I call it the Quarter Moon Grill and Go. It's a stainless steel propane gas grill with this, a full-size urinal. If you're gonna grill and you gotta go, it's the Grill and Go.
Folks, at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, we fix plumbing and AC issues fast and at a fair price. 210-651-5899.
Grill and
go away, Nigel. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number M16004, DACLA 0007435E.
Hi there, I'm Dwayne Charping, owner of Roof Fix. We're offering a special deductible relief program that gives you up to $2,500 plus 0 down, 0 interest, 0 payments for 6 months with approved credit.
Call Roof Fix today at 210-FIX-ROOF.
Hey guys, June is Men's Health Month, and Revive Men's Health encourages you to prioritize your health. Book your free exam and T-check today and save $199. Call 210-615-7777 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets.
The Denver Nuggets have finally done it.
The 2023 NBA Finals champion. The Nuggets win the NBA Finals for the first time in Nugget team history. No joke. The Joker wins the MVP. And you heard it here all season long on your exclusive home for the NBA. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's R in the morning. R&R in the morning here on San Antonio Sports Star. Man, I'm stumbling. Oh, I was kicking myself out. you leave the ones laying you down behind. It's on this day. Let's play some mailbox money music for Mr. What's his name again?
David Palmer.
There we go.
I just remember pomegranate.
We do it every Tuesday. We look back so we know what not to do again. Like back in 1994, O.J. Simpson was questioned by the Los Angeles Police Department concerning the death of his ex-wife and her friend, Ron Goldman.
Definitely one of those events, Rob. Not event, one of those tragedies. I don't remember like the chase where I was, but I remember where I was on the verdict. When the verdict came down, it's just one of those crazy times.
The O.J. chase. Do you remember where you were?
I remember where I was before the verdict.
Now, the O.J. chase hasn't happened yet. The O.J. chase is Friday. The 17th will be the chase. The 13th was the day, the first day.
Because she was already,
they found out she was dead.
Ronald Goldman.
And remember, he was in Chicago, and this was the first time he was being questioned for the death of his ex-wife and
Ronald Goldman.
Ron Goldman. Remember, Cato Kalin came to mind on this day back in 1994. So the chase, I can tell you where I was. I was at a sports bar watching the Knicks Rockets series.
The finals.
On this day, let's see where we want to go. Back in 1989, the Detroit Pistons won their first National Basketball Association title. They beat the Lakers in 4 games.
There was no Magic Johnson. Remember, Magic messed up his hamstring. Byron Scott was hurt. All right, whatever, Zeke.
Zeke got it.
Whatever, Zeke.
I'm not a big fan. On this day, back in 1996, Cal Ripken tied Sachio Kanagasa for his 2,215th consecutive game played. A record that was going to be broken just a couple of days later. On this day, back in 1948, the New York Yankees officially retired Babe Ruth number 3 and sent it to the Hall of Fame.
That's a good one.
On this day,
what else?
Back in 2002, your Detroit Red Wings won their 10th Stanley Cup final. After the game, Red Wings coach Scotty Bowman announced his retirement.
That's a good one.
You seemed less than excited about things that have happened on this day.
No, I'm less than excited about the Detroit Red Wings, but whatever. 10? I didn't know they had 10 titles.
I didn't either.
Minix knew.
On this day back in 1912, Christy Mathewson.
Oh,
It's Christy Mathewson, Rudy. Got his 300th career win. And those are the things that have happened on this day.
I saw one that I liked from, something of this century. Just can't remember what it was. Oh, in 2018, FIFA awarded us in Canada and Mexico the World Cup on this day in 2018.
And that'll be next year.
26.
There's some sad news on this day. Back in 2000.
What happened?
Dr. J issued a public appeal for helping find his 19-year-old son, Corey, who'd been missing since May, late May. His body was eventually found on July the 6th.
That's a horrible story, too.
Back in the day, the NFL draft was held kind of late, and there's a quote. The last player drafted in 1949. That's it. Was a guy named Ziegler. He said that they drafted in alphabetical order. With that,
that's a good one.
With that, we send mailbox money to Mr. Dave Pomeroy.
You left off one, Rob.
Oh.
2019. Finals MVP was awarded to one Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
I just thought San Antonio would want to remember that.
What?
Did you purposely not read that one?
No, I did not. I saw it. I just hadn't gotten to it.
You weren't gonna.
It's Voldemort. I'm not allowed to say it.
I know, so I said it for you. I just thought San Antonio might want to be reminded. Like Kawhi won a Finals MVP after we thought we were sending him to purgatory. He ended up winning a final. Remember how much we laughed when he got sent to Toronto? Right.
And there was also, remember the video of the chase, basically, of him getting there and the helicopters following his Suburban all the way to the headquarters. Yeah, the triple bounce fall, one of the greater shots in NBA history. Kawhi Leonard, congratulations.
Why, he looked like he was pooping outside in an Army dug hole.
He had the prison pose.
Yeah, he had the prison pose.
Hey, the NFL continues to offer. They strategically schedule practices so that we're paying attention, and OTAs begin in earnest for a lot of the NFL. Are we going to get to see that 5-year vet known as C.J. Stroud down there in Texas running that offense? Saquon's talking about blackmail. And finally, what's the rush with J.J. heading into the ring? We're talking NFL. You need to be with us. This is R&R, and you are on San Antonio's Sports Star 94.1 FM, NSASportsStar.com.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville. It's R&R in the morning on YouTube and always at SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The Joker takes home a Finals MVP, averaging 30 points, 14 boards, 7 assists. Denver gets their first title in franchise history. Also, Wemby is one loss away from losing the Pro A LNB Finals. He had 19 last night. Game 3 is on Thursday from Roland Garros. And kind of like me with the Sports Center, the Longhorns got lost in the lights and are headed back to Austin. R&R in the morning.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 100% satisfaction guarantee.
It's 0600. What's the O stand for? Oh my God, it's early.
Wake me up, wake me up, wake up, wake me up. So wake me up, wake up.
Rob Thompson.
Normally the other way in transition to the left hand slam. I want some nasty.
Rudy J.
Cowboys win. How else would you settle this game?
Begin each day as if it were on purpose.
I wake up in the morning, I kiss excellent.
R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
Welcome to R&R in the morning, a busy day to catch up with. We have a champion. The Denver Nuggets take down the Miami Heat to win the franchise's very first NBA championship, the second ABA team to do so, as they follow the Spurs, and Nikola Jokic was crowned the finals MVP and being discussed in terms of the greatest offensively tooled big man in the history of the NBA. We're going to certainly look at how they did it and potential for, dare we say, dynasty in Denver.
More skilled than King?
Than who?
Hakeem?
No. Yes. Better pass.
Offensive.
No, I would say equally.
Because defensively, Hakeem was a monster. So let's not even talk about defense. Offensively.
My memory of Hakeem, Hakeem could pass.
He had a little mid-range too.
But the dream shake, which was a travel, but who cares?
Whoa!
It's a travel.
Yo, we're about to talk Wemby, but let's stop, Rob.
It's a travel. I don't have a
Rob,
problem with it.
stop.
Sham God was a bit of a travel too when it was used correctly. So I'm not against it.
Keep going.
He shuffled his foot. He did. It was a beautiful move.
I don't want to lose
beautiful
the
move.
show.
It was so pretty. Let him do it.
Spurs is hanging way out.
No, that's Houston Cougar crap. We're going OG on this. We're going OG. This is old Southwest Conference hatred.
Did he give Texas Tech 60?
80. And then they sat him down midway through the second. No, it was okay. Not always was a travel, but when it was most effective, it was a bit of a travel. No, I don't want to be the old guy in the room like you didn't know my day. Hakeem was a better offensive weapon than Yoke. He was. If he could have gone and gotten 40 every night, and that dream shape was absolutely unstoppable. It was unstoppable.
Okay. They're able to bring the ball up. Okay, we're talking about Joker.
Oh, no. Okay.
Full court.
Oh, no, you're right.
Dribbling.
Hakeem could have never done that. You're right. He could have never done that.
The three ball.
Yeah.
The mid-range.
I'm talking about
the
3-point line. From free throw line in, that's Hakeem's world.
Okay.
Outside that free throw line, Jokic sits the rest of the court. So maybe Jokic is better. But down on the block,
ask you this.
In his day, ain't nobody stopping Hakeem, and Jokic would get embarrassed. Jokic would have been embarrassed by Hakeem defensively. He would have.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think Hakeem, but the Joker would bring Hakeem out to the 3-point line.
Different era, and Jokic has far more skills. I mean, it's just because keep in mind, when Jokic started playing, he got to do all the drills. You know, you got to go. He got to do the layup drill.
They trained him different.
And yeah, he got to take the jump shots. When Hakeem was coming up, well, first of all, he was playing soccer. And when he arrived at the University of Houston, they were like, all right, you go stand underneath the rim and you do the Mikan drill. And you jump up and down and you do all that stuff. You don't need to dribble. Hell, if you dribble twice, you've dribbled one too many times. You know, like you don't get to do that crap. Well, the game has changed.
All right.
So yeah, Yoke can do all that crap. I'm not.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Rob.
Disrespect Hakeem.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Tim can't do none of that.
No. He did other stuff.
Who?
Tim. He couldn't hold Jokic's jock on some of those stuff. But it's a different era. Tim didn't get to do what Jokic did. Tim got put in the Mikan line too.
So Tim was just like, because I'm thinking back on all the bigs, on all the skilled bigs. So Tim was just a master on the block, right? I mean, he developed that bank shot. You know, he even talked to Robert Ory. The bank shot, I think, would be with his signature. But
I would like to think.
Tim was just he had a PhD in footwork on the block.
Absolutely, and that was
he was a monster on defense. Tim was a monster on defense,
far more than Yoke ever was.
Oh, Yoke isn't Tim when Tim was a swimmer.
True.
Tim as a swimmer, Tim got out of the pool. And as soon as he got out of the pool, he was a better defender than Joker.
But Hakeem, I'm looking at my rundown. Hakeem gets left out of a lot of these conversations.
Why don't we talk about
because
Hakeem
he didn't
Olajuwon?
play long enough to get the records to make us continue to talk about him. You know, he's not when we go, oh, look who just passed top 5 in this. Well, Hakeem's not there because he wasn't around long enough to get there. You know, we keep looking at Yoke and, he just surpassed Bill Russell. He just surpassed. Well, we don't say, he just passed Hakeem. Remember how good Hakeem was? He's just not in those conversations because he didn't play long enough to get on those lifetime lists other than being who Hakeem was. And
David knows who Hakeem is.
Anybody who was in the Alamo Dome remembers that.
Joker Dirk.
Man, I hate to not take Dirk, but it's Joker.
We sure?
Well, right now it's a dead heat.
Because the only reason why I'm asking that, Rob, is because behind the sky hook is Dirk's fadeaway leg up.
There's
the most unstoppable shot.
There's nobody that
time.
could ever. Yeah, and you know what? You could even block the sky hook. I saw it happen. I saw Bill Willoughby block.
No, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar sky hook.
I promise you, it happened.
YouTube it, Edwin. I need to see
Bill Willoughby blocked.
No way.
Yes, he did. I saw it. I have seen the video. He blocked the sky hook.
But they called a foul, Rob.
Well, this was back in the 40s. There were no fouls or whatever it was. But it did happen. It is legend, but it has happened. I never saw Dirk's shot get blocked. Not once. A 7-foot, one-legged fadeaway. Ain't nobody touching that. By the way, as we talk about greatness.
Yeah.
One of the things that I found so unique about Joker and the way that he manufactures offense is I've never seen a player this good. Even Tim jumped.
A little bit.
Joker, everything he does, his feet are on the floor.
Yeah, and the thing about Joker is the ability to get bumped, move the ball around, and still make he made some tough shots last night. Like, well, his entire career, but really last night when I looked at it, I was like, man, he gets bumped, he's falling over to the left, but manages to torque his body just a little bit to get the shot up, and the touch on the basketball, like just look at even when he misses, they're good misses. Like the ball, the way it falls on the rim so softly. Again, I've never really seen. I've never seen anything like him.
You're literally the second person that I've ever known that used the term a good miss. And you used it the same way the other guy I knew did it. It's a good miss because the ball is available for an easy offensive rebound. It's not if you do, we're going to see Bill get up. Get up, Bill Willoughby, own it!
Oh, wow. Someone blocked a sky hook. Good call, Rob.
I'm just saying.
Good call,
Wilt got it too, evidently. Well, that
looked like
that was kind of on its way.
That looked like gold.
Didn't quite matter. But I do think that we don't talk about Akeem the way we should, just because the longevity didn't put him on those lists that make us bring guys up like that every year.
Right.
And it's unfortunate because the greatness that he brought, we'll never see anything like that guy ever again.
Are we about to have in our own city the next best big man offensively of all time?
I think a better question is, do you want that?
7'5", is he a big man? What? Even though he's 7'5", are we going to call Wemby a big man? What are we going to call him? Or just a hooper? Like Keldon told me and Joe, like, man, I ain't no small forward. I ain't know this. I'm just a hooper. Is Wemby just a hooper?
No. You can't be just a hooper at 7'5". Until everybody else on the court is 7'5".
Rob, if he's out there going between the legs, behind the back, between the legs, 1'3", that ain't a big man.
Which, by the way, he's trying to perfect. You've seen him do that.
Yeah.
No, what else? I mean, I guess a baller. I'll take Keldon's, but
no, if you're 7'5", I'm gonna call you a big
you're
man.
a big man. You can play like a little, but you're absolutely that kind of big. Reggie Miller spoke about the size that Wemby brings. And, we see Chet. I mean, the first time we saw Chet post Gonzaga, he had a walking boot on. So we know how dangerous it can be. And Reggie spoke to the fact that Wemby is built a lot like he is, but Reggie played at a different time and a different part of the court. This is Reggie.
I saw an analyst who said that if Wembanyama is like Akeem and Kevin Durant and one other person, that would be a disappointment for his career.
I would say that.
That's the dumbest mistake I've ever
I would
made.
too.
Kevin Durant. If this kid is a mixture of that, my only concern is he looks like me at 7'5". Knock on wood. I knock on wood. I was rarely injured throughout my 18-year, only ankle injuries. But I played on the perimeter. I'm not banging with the big boys. But it's not as physical as it was in the 80s and 90s. So he won't be banged up like those days. I just hope he doesn't get hurt, right? I pray he stays healthy. If he stays healthy, and everything I've seen on videotape, everything I've seen in scouting reports, if he plays like that, the future is his. So I'm excited for him.
Reggie Miller yesterday sitting in with Dan Patrick talking about the future San Antonio Spur Victor Wembanyama.
Wait, so Dan Patrick was quoting Chris Broussard? No wonder. I mean, no wonder it's such a
Chris is right about 80% of the time.
Yeah, no wonder it was such a stupid ass take. Chris Broussard believes anything less than the GOAT trajectory is a failure for women. Okay, now let's go there, Rob. Okay, let's put the AD, KD, and Akeem thing aside. Like, okay, that's what it should be. Let's talk about that second part of it, about Chris Broussard saying anything other than GOAT trajectory is a failure. What do we say about that part of the quote?
My gosh, he's right.
I mean, when you got Woj saying this is the biggest prospect in sports history.
What astounds me is it's okay for me and you and Woj and anybody in the media. I have no problem with us saying this guy needs to be KD and all this rolled into one. And if he's not, he's an abject failure. I get it. That's our job because we project and we make up scenarios. But when I hear players say that, that's what bothers me.
Well, you know what? I think if I'm trying to put myself in the player's shoes just for a quick minute, even though I wear a size 10.5, I never fit a 20. when you're a pro player also, and you know the work it takes to stay in and be great, be a guy that hasn't touched the floor, get this much love, and matter of fact, it's like,
I get it.
What the hell are you talking
Yeah,
about?
who are you?
Like what? Y'all crowning him? Do y'all know what it takes to be in
And
this?
so you
league?
throw down impossible
Yes.
expectations that there's no way they can live
Yes.
up to. I get it. Now, that makes a lot more sense, especially because Reggie, seriously, you're going to throw that down. You're talking about an 18-year-old French kid that you expect to be a combination of Durant and Akeem. Now, I know ceiling is high and all that, but that is a lot to throw on a kid. I mean, that's from a guy who understands it. But I appreciate the point of view. Like, yeah, bro, you haven't earned anything, and they're already calling you Durant and Akeem,
dude. It's a lot on this. It's a lot on this dude's plate. It's a lot on his plate because we've had Tim Duncan. That's the other part of it, and I think that was why we were so hard on LaMarcus, because it's like, man, look, you know who you're replacing. Do you know who we're expecting you to be? It was a sweepstakes for LaMarcus Aldridge. And when he came in and he wasn't that, we destroyed him to the point where he has to be traded after one season.
It's interesting, the dynamic of how a player like Wemby will be treated by the rest of the league.
Yeah, 2 seasons. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How are they going to treat him? Because you brought up a point that there's some guys that are going to be in awe, but others like Reggie and probably current pros like, all right, bro, let's see what you got. I'm going to give you everything. I'm going to be on you. You're Superman. I'm coming. I'm going to be your kryptonite, and we're going to do everything we can to stop you. Will that get to the point of, yeah, we're going to body you. Yeah, we're going to see if you can take an elbow in the lane. Yeah, we're going to force the refs to either protect you or not call it. I mean, how much respect is he going to get? David got the protection of David being on the roster. I mean, he had a superstar already here. He had an MVP in the building when he walked in. He didn't have to deal with everything that
Wemby's.
Wemby's.
Talking about Tim?
Yeah, David. David was there to protect him. And Tim walked into the building, and as great as he was, he still wasn't even the greatest player on his team.
Not right away. Really pretty quick. It became that way.
Within a month, but I mean, but pretty quick it happened. But the fact is, and Joker didn't have to go through that either. Joker was a late pick. I mean, nobody expected anything out of him, so he got to develop kind of, at least for a year, in anonymity. You look at the pressures that have been put on Embiid, and you feel like no matter how well he's done, he hadn't lived up to it.
Right. And I think guys and the reason why it's a good thing for Joker to be the way he is, and I don't know how Wemby's going to be, is when everybody likes you, you don't take the same criticisms as these other stars take. The Joker, nobody's ever had one bad word to say about Joker, whether it's first round exit, second round exit. And even next year, let's say they go out in the first round next year, we're not going to line up to kick Joker in the teeth. We're just not.
And why is that? Is it the style of game he plays? Is it the anonymity?
Because it's like, I remember when the Heat were playing the Spurs, and the Heat couldn't find anything to hate.
Mm-hmm.
They just couldn't find anything. Like, who talks crap? Like, who would not like Nikola Jokic?
Well,
like, what reason would you have? You'd have to manufacture something.
Before we head into the NFL, Bam Adebayo did speak to having to guard Joker. And Bam, to his credit, I don't think you could have played better defense. I really don't. And the fact that Joker averaged a triple-double and led every stat category, basically, scoring, about rebounds, assists, led everybody in both. And I still think Bam did a great job. This is what he said about defending the Joker.
He just makes the right play every possession. I feel like that's the biggest thing about, the player that he is. He's going to try and make the right play every possession, no matter if it's scoring the ball, passing it, getting a hockey assist. It doesn't matter. I feel like that's what makes him dynamic.
Jimmy Butler gets so much credit for, upholding the Miami Heat way, but it was Bam Adebayo that was tough and played better consistently than Jimmy did in the finals.
Yeah, there's something to be said about making the right play
every time. And you know it. I mean, you just hope that you force him into making not as good a play, but it's still going to be a good play.
But, and I come to this guy's defense once every 3 months, and then he'll do something to make me mad. But I'm going to come to his defense right now. When LeBron makes the right play, you scared. You scared to miss. That's what the difference between you and Mike. Mike ain't passing that. Mike wouldn't do this. Mike wouldn't do that. LeBron is scared to fail, blah, blah, blah. when Joker makes a good pass and someone scores, oh my God.
What a great play.
Oh my God, that's just so headsy. And like when LeBron does it, it's like, nah, man, you scared. So I got to come to LeBron's defense on that one.
That is such an interesting take.
It's because we hate him.
Yeah, it is.
It's because everybody.
Because he ain't Mike.
Yeah, it's
That's
like,
it's
you know
all
what
that.
I mean? It
But
is
I
what it
remember
is.
the narrative, especially the late Miami years. Like,
Oh,
dude, you're passing up the shot. Take the shot.
I know LeBron sits around at home like, y'all really praising him? I've been doing this since 03. And y'all told me I'm a punk and I'm scared and I ain't Mike.
Yeah, relax. You're one of the better point guards ever to play.
Facts.
Hey,
He is a
coming
point
back,
guard.
the gumbo, she is boiling. Hey, JJ Watt got a phone call yesterday. Got some good news. He's going to have big initials put in a stadium. And the OTA is getting busy, and we're going to follow the storylines as all the rest of the NFL starts reporting for other than practice activities or whatever OTAs stand for. We're talking NFL next. You're on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, and of course, sasportstar.com.
He loves sports. He loves talking about sports. And just like you, he's got a lucky jersey that hasn't been washed in 6 seasons. Or since the Cowboys last won a Super Bowl.
It is a reminder I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so having said that, I want me some glory hole.
He's Jason Minix. Afternoons at 2 with The Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Mornings were made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis or RA. Xeljanz tofacitinib is a pill for adults with moderate to severe RA when tumor necrosis factor blockers did not work well or could not be tolerated. Xeljanz can help relieve joint pain, swelling, and help stop further joint damage. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections. Don't start if you have one. Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections like TB and do blood tests. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, cancers including lymphoma and lung, blood clots, serious heart-related events, tears in the stomach or intestines, and allergic reactions have happened. People 50 and older with heart disease risk factors have an increased risk of death. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B or C, have flu-like symptoms, are prone to infections, or have ever had a heart attack, stroke, clot, or other heart problems, or swelling of lips, tongue, throat, or hives. Ask your doctor about prescription Xeljanz. Visit Xeljanz.com or call 1-844-XELJANZ.
Hey, Joe Calvi here for Mother's Window Tint. You know, I started the company back in 1984. And just recently I went on vacation out to Arizona and I got to rent a car. And let me tell you something. It absolutely was brutal out there in the sun with a car with no window tint. You're going to have window tint on your car if you come to Mother's Window Tint because we've got the best films money can buy. We have films that will stop more heat than any other, and we can prove it. Over 60 films in stock on most days. You're going to be able to do more than just pick light, medium, and dark, but we've got it all. You're going to have a beautiful window tint when we're done with your car, and we sell the greatest alarm systems to help you protect yourself and your family. Car stereos, make your car go thump, 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 mother thump. Mother's Window Tint in Austin and San Antonio. Check out our addresses on the web at motherswindowtint.com, and remember, do it at Mothers and save.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked, classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom. Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and have been representing people injured in auto and commercial truck collisions right here in San Antonio, my hometown, since 1994. Getting into a collision can be a life-altering event. Your health and recovery is the only thing that really matters, and anyone that's ever been injured in a traffic collision will tell you that. How do you get the insurance company to pay? Simple. Call me. As your attorney, my job is to get you through this. The decisions you make immediately after a collision are the most important decisions you can make. If you call me as soon as you can after a collision, I will help you make the right decisions for you and your family. Remember, I do not charge for a consultation. Growing up on the southwest side of San Antonio, when Loop 410 was the edge of town, I know how overwhelming it could be to face a giant insurance company all on your own. Just keep it simple. Call me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets.
The Denver Nuggets have finally done it.
The 2023 NBA Finals champion. The Nuggets win the NBA Finals for the first time in Nugget team history. No joke. The Joker wins the MVP. And you heard it here all season long on your exclusive home for the NBA. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
I guess I'm a disappointment. Doing everything I can, I don't want to make you disappointed. It's annoying. I just want to make you feel like everything I have.
R&R in the morning continues. We're glad you're with us. If you missed anything that we have done at any point over the last several years, quite frankly, you can go to sasportstar.com. We call it the Audio Vault because that's where we lock away all the goodness. All you got to do is click there. You can listen to us live wherever you might be. You can catch up on old shows. It's kind of like our podcast central. We do like you to watch us, though. We like to be watched.
Whoa,
In
whoa, whoa,
broadest
whoa, big fella.
sense of the word.
Whoa, big fella.
You can do this thing called YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And you can check us out live. And there, if you go, you can talk to us directly by using your keyboard and reaching out that way. Okay, so the NFL is, well, we talk about it a lot.
It's 365.
And they know exactly what the hell they're doing. They read the tea leaves. They saw a gentleman's sweep coming. The sweep is done, just about, and here comes the NFL with the rest of the league starting their OTAs and getting busy. And the storylines are hot and heavy as finally we get to see some of those guys that we've been waiting to see. The Texans getting to be working out. I hope we get to see C.J. Stroud look as good as everybody's been telling us.
I need to see it. I'm tired of all the talk.
We saw day before yesterday, Bryce has been named the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers.
What?
I appreciate Frank Reich for being an honest man.
Me? I wish Houston had the same stones. Like, yeah, y'all are. It's really a quarterback competition between him and Davis Mills. All right, Houston, wink, wink, D'Amico, whatever. Continue, Rob.
The San Diego, listen to me. The LA Chargers get to unveil the new Kellen Moore offense. We'll start to see a little bit of that. See what this young quarterback and those giant wide receivers
to watch him
do.
Put up 60 on Dan Quinn.
It looks like they're going to hang some points. We'll just see how effective they are early. We know early reviews have been strong. Back to the Texans, J.J. Watt is going to be inducted into the Texans Ring of Honor, which is no surprise to anyone. I'm just kind of surprised it's happening so fast.
You know, I was thinking about this when we discussed the pre-show, Rob. You know what it is, man? You're just used to the Jerry Jones way.
Maybe.
Because Jerry just be like, yeah, I know he's supposed to be in, but he got to wait. You know, like, why isn't DeMarcus Ware already in?
True.
Like, why do you have to wait? So I think we've just all gotten used to, you know, hey, you got to wait a little bit. Like, really, the Texans, like, why would they wait? This is news. But now you were saying, like, hey, let's just let this team play out. And, you know, once it goes bad, then we bring JJ in for some good PR.
Well, that's what,
see, you're strategically thinking.
That's what I'm thinking. This has nothing to do with JJ.
No, I know.
And his greatness. Obviously, he's there. But
right.
You hold those cards in your hand for
when you're 2-7,
gotta
2-15. Yeah.
They're like, hey, JJ, you free next week? We got to put your name up in the ring. We don't have enough money to buy the letters, but if you'll come in.
I think they rushed it. They moved it ahead a little bit, Rob, because I don't know when the Steelers are going to be back on the schedule where both of his brothers play.
You know what? I didn't even consider that. They're playing the Steelers.
So they're probably like, yo, we'll probably do it
Okay.
2026. They're like, wait. He's playing. We're playing against both of his brothers this season. Let's do it now. So I think it might have gotten pushed up for that reason. It makes it more heartfelt.
I think it's brilliant. Good on you, Houston Texans. I think that's a brilliant move. I wouldn't even have considered that. But good on you, Houston. Right. I mean, think of the dichotomy. They can't wait to put somebody in the room. You know, they can't wait.
I mean, Andre just standing there like, they have these luncheons and Andre's there by himself.
Dude, please, I can't do all of these. So we need another retirement.
Andre, you're in the +1 to be invited to the Ring of Honor dinner. And Andre's like, who else coming? Just you, Andre.
If I eat any more rubber chicken, if I have to go to one more Texans luncheon as the
now you get 2 at the luncheon.
That's so funny. They needed some help to fulfill the social duties.
Now, a few years back, we were the home of the Texans. Talk to me about J.J. Watt and your time spent around him when y'all were covering the Texans.
He was hurt just about the entire time that we were doing. I mean, I had a chance to interview him a couple times.
Okay.
He was not his Insta self. He's not.
So that guy that like does push-ups in front of 100 people for no reason, that's not really who he is.
I think he takes great pleasure in the body that he's built. But I never took him as a face guy, a bro. I never took him as that guy.
Because when I see him, because I never covered him, but when I see like the whole team leaves Hard Knocks and he starts going and running more sprints and it's dark, I'm like,
you know what? I was there when that.
But I think it's real because you don't become that great unless that's a real thing.
And I will be the first to jump on JJ and his desperate Instagram history. But when that occurred, and that was the 17,
I don't remember what
I think it was the summer of 17. He had kind of creeped off to go work out, and they went and found him. He didn't just do it in front of them.
Okay.
Now, I wouldn't have said that back then.
I'm glad you let me know that.
Because it fit the narrative that I had built up in my mind. Like, of course he's working out. The camera's on. As soon as the camera's off, he stops the workout. Right. No, he had kind of snuck off to a backside and was working with a trainer, and they found him for Hard Knocks. It wasn't like he was trying to get some glory, but it did work out that he did. I mean, he didn't say, don't run this. He didn't say, turn the camera off. But, I mean, it does fit it.
Well, see, the thing is, Rob, what's crazy is like, when we were talking about Jalen Carter, the Georgia D tackle, when you look at how great J.J. Watt was, he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. We see why teams are so desperate and take unnecessary risks to get quarterbacks. Because you can have a guy like J.J. Watt, all world, 3-time defensive player of the year, 20 pass deflections, 20 sacks, 20 tackles for a loss. And it amounts to nothing.
That ain't enough.
It amounts to nothing because you didn't have a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
See, like, I don't think J.J. Watt career is wasted. I mean, I think the $100 million he raised for Houston is the highlight of his career, to be honest with you, when they're going through a hurricane.
That's right.
That accounts for more than anything you could ever do on the football field. But, Aaron Donald got lucky because Aaron Donald was on his way to being J.J. Watt, the most dominant defensive tackle we probably ever seen, that amounted to nothing, but it all, fell into place when McVay shows up and then they go get Stafford and they load up and they win. So now it made what's Aaron Donald has done feel like it was all worth it. But J.J. Watt, I'm not going to say it was wasted, but I'm like, damn, I hate to see a guy, but probably one of the top 5 to ever do it at that position.
Well, I mean, the Texans did all they could. I'm not mad at the Texans. They got him a quarterback,
and
he just
apologized.
To have baby oil rubbed in weird places.
He apologized to Deshaun Watson. Remember that after that game, he was like, "Man, we failed you."
Well, I think somebody else should have been apologizing. I mean, I feel maybe that's the rush because they know that JJ it was cursed.
Right.
I mean, they went and got him a quarterback. He had all the tools. They were a team that could beat Kansas City. They could.
They should have.
They should have. And it all collapsed, and maybe we got to get him in the ring just to kind of excise those terrible memories. A lot more NFL talk coming. Saquon Barkley spoke about the franchise tag and how it's been weaponized. We're going to cover that in a bit. But coming back, hey, Spurs fans, if you're looking for a point guard, there's a pretty good one available. We'll tell you who that is and whether it's worth the chase. And it's not Chris Paul. We'll be right back. You're on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and sasportsstar.com.
Hi there, I'm Dwayne Sharp, owner of Roof. Stressful it is dealing with storm damage. That's why we're offering a special deductible relief program that gives you instant rebates up to $2,500 that you can use towards your deductible. Plus, our relief program also includes 0 down, 0 interest, 0 payments for 6 months with approved credit.
Call RoofX today at 210-FIX-ROOF or visit their website at roofixsa.com.
RoofX, home of the low price guarantee. When you're drinking a frozen beverage from McDonald's, your brain may not like how refreshingly cold it is, but the rest of your body, oh yes, it's gonna relish every moment of it, because there are drinks. Then there are drinks from McDonald's.
There's no better way to cool down than with this cool deal. Get a medium frozen Coke, frozen Dr. Pepper, or frozen Fanta for just $1.79. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-330-1991. That's 1-800-330-1991. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-330-1991. SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
You could throw your flip-flop at a bug.
Ew, a bug, get it.
But the chances of actually hitting it
Over there.
are statistically
It's still alive.
unlikely. Good thing nature's got your back. Stem bug killers combine powerful active ingredients found in plants like lemongrass and geraniol and scientifically engineer them into effective bug-fighting formulas, safe for use as directed around people, pets, and throughout the home. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Cookie wants to be a professional wrestler.
I'm Cookie Serratos and I'm 11 years old.
She also wants to win all the medals. That's why Cookie and her family make every day count, squeezing out her best with Go-Go Squeeze.
Okay, Cookie, let's break for a Go-Go Squeeze.
Go-Go Squeeze fruit on the go pouches are a nutritious snack made from 100% fruit with no sugar added.
Go, Cookie!
Because when you nurture your kids, you squeeze out the best in them. Squeeze out the best with Go-Go Squeeze. Not a low-calorie food. Products range from 11 to 13 grams of sugar and 60 to 70 calories per serving.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course, I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Chase loves soccer.
I'm Chase Carrera and I'm 12 years old.
And his dream is to turn pro. That's why Chase and his family make sure he's always having fun and squeezing out his best with Go-Go Squeeze. Okay, buddy, let's break for a Go-Go Squeeze. Go-Go Squeeze fruit on the go pouches are a nutritious snack made from 100% fruit with no sugar added.
That's my boy.
Because when you nurture your kids, you squeeze out the best in them. Squeeze out the best with Go-Go Squeeze. Not a low-calorie food. Products range from 11 to 13 grams of sugar and 60 to 70 calories per serving.
Imagine you're looking at a balancing scale with everything you do for other people on one side and everything you do for yourself on the other side. If it isn't balanced, maybe it's time to spend a little more time on you. And therapy is a great place to start. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online who can help you find that balance and stick to it. Visit betterhelp.com/score to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/score.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. What, still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
All guests appearing on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star appear on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control rental and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning to you.
Top of the morning to all.
Lots to do today, Tuesday, June the 13th. We're glad you're with us here on R&R. Rudy and Rob with you. As the NBA season concludes last night, it's time to start looking forward. And obviously the Spurs are headed toward Victor. And we know that they've got a Keldon, at least for the time being. And we know that Devin Vassell is here for at least for the time being. And, you know, we could fill out our roster. But I think, well, I'm going to ask, of the projected starting five, where is, and I don't want to call it a weak link, but what is the one position you go, that probably needs to be addressed?
Point guard.
Point guard.
It's not even up for debate.
Good. I'm glad I'm not alone here. And I think most basketball minds would agree that Trey Jones is a very good NBA player.
I love Trey Jones.
But he's not a starter. He's a very good part of a team. Just like Patty Mills is a hell of a point guard, not a starter. Just some guys better roles. And so I think we all want Trey to be a Spur for as long as he wants to be, but probably not the starting point guard. So the chase continues. Now, they have a couple of draft picks, a couple of second rounders. We know where the first is going. I'm not sure there's anybody out there in the second round they're going to get. So if the fix
there's no Joker in the second round?
Well, there probably is. No, certainly not. But you figure a point guard needs to be drafted or acquired.
Okay.
How much money do you want to spend?
I'll go 25 to 30 a year because I mean, when I look at Kyle Lowry got 100 from Miami for 3 years, that's about 30. 30 seems, I mean, the core four for Denver all get 30 and up.
You're right.
So I got 30 million to play with each player right now. So I'd spend about, depending on the player, I'd give them 30.
Fred VanVleet's going to be a free agent.
Do they want us to fly up to Toronto to recruit him? What do they need from us? I'd be on the first thing smoking to help recruit. I'd take them to all the best restaurants. I'd show them some Sunday fun day spots. I'd show them where, where the cool kids hang out. Like I would love and Dame, he's not Dame, but I think he fits what we want to do here better. Like Fred knows how to be second fiddle. He's a champion. He hits big shots. He can hit the three. He can run the show. I take him over Chris Paul because of age alone. I would do whatever the Spurs needed me to do to get me some Fred VanVleet.
There's one of those that feels like a natural thing
because he opted out of his player option, right?
Yeah, he wants out. He sees that they're redoing.
Right,
got a new coach in. It's not going to be what it was, and it looks like they're going to build around Anunoby and Siakam and I guess Pirtle. I don't know, but
Scott.
Scotty. That's right, Scott Williams.
Yeah,
Scotty. Scotty Barnes.
Scotty
Barnes.
Scott Barnes.
So they have theirs, and his future ain't there. I
would love to have Fred VanVleet.
Feels like such a natural thing because not only does he add NBA level competence as a point guard,
and he's a champ.
Yes, but think about the development of Wemby. I mean, you get a guy who is a point guard who's going to be your quarterback, who's going to be the face of your offense, the guy that initiates, and the guy that knows what the league needs and does to help in the growth. I mean, I'm not sure what VanVleet will be here when the team reaches the level that we think they're going to be, but to get there,
I would love that. I think it worked. Again, it's not your typical guy coming in feeling like, I know it's his team, but it's my team. What? No.
Now we have to look past some history.
Oh, damn. Why you bring this up, Ed? When we're trying to get people to forget about this.
Keep in mind, back in 2019, as the Toronto Raptors, on this date, as they reveled in their championship, VanVleet said now it won't be ducking. If he has an iPhone, he can actually type it.
Yeah, he was like, it wasn't like, he got caught on camera telling Kawhi, it wasn't like this in San Antonio, was it?
Yeah, F Pop.
Well, Pop got thick skin.
You're probably right.
I mean, keep in mind, Pop hugs Kawhi every time he sees him. Pop isn't a guy that takes stuff personal. VanVleet can help this team win.
What do you guys think? 656-3776, 656 ESPN, because it's going to cost $100 million.
Oh, easy.
I mean,
he's gonna be very sought after, especially by contenders.
And it's going to take a long-term deal. He won't, wherever he goes now, he knows this is his penultimate contract. Right. He might get one more, but this will be the highest contract he'll ever get. This will be the generational $30 million.
I'm down.
I am too. And I'm not about, I think point guards and coaches need to be so connected. And I've always been about Pop growing his own point guard. But this one,
and he's hard on point guards. I hope Van Fleet knows that. And also, you're not having, like with Dame, you're having to trade and give up some of those draft picks. This is a free agent.
You know, it's funny. I don't even consider Dame a possibility. It doesn't even cross my mind. Now, I'd like for it to be a possibility, but I don't even see that. This one just feels natural. It just feels like a guy who's been coached in a method that Pop coached, because we know how Nick Nurse was, a little surly, a little bristly.
And they run sets.
We run
sets here.
It's an international feel in place with the team that was put together. I mean, he was playing with Siakam and some other dudes from around the world. I mean, it felt like the team would be built in the same way, and he functioned well in that. I feel like it's a natural fit. I just don't know if I'm, as a Spurs fan, I'm ready to spend that kind of money now.
They got to spend the money.
Yeah,
there's a floor.
I agree. And it's just, as a Spur,
everybody else is still, you're paying Keldon 20, so you already got a discount there.
But I agree that I like Van Vliet, but I'd like to see Wemby for a year. Let's see what he needs.
He needs a point guard. We know that.
But what kind of point guard? Does he need a shoot first point guard that he can play
off? He needs one that can shoot threes that can free him up.
That's
what Fred. And Fred, and there's some nights, Fred, you look up, you watching Sports Center, you chilling, I was a slow night, watch Sports Center, and you look up and Fred had 40, 35, 27 and 10. Like, Fred can go. I'm a fan.
There's a place in the NBA now for guys like Fred where I thought it was disappearing. Watching Miami last night, you
think they couldn't use him?
You think about what Lowry did, and you think about what we saw Gabe Vincent do it, what we saw Strus do,
right?
What we saw, these guys were all capable, every one of them, of just going and getting their own bucket. Just
when they got the green light,
we're going to leave you alone, put the ball on, do your board work, and go get a bucket. And even though they were just barely above G League when we first saw them, they were all capable. Every one of those guys that was capable of putting the ball by themselves and going and getting a bucket. And Van Vliet can do that. He's not going to be in the paint as often, but Lowry was capable at 5'2",
37.
And Van Vliet's the same guy that when you have to get it, Van Vliet can go get it. And I like that about him. But he doesn't necessarily want to go get it unless he has to.
Yeah, he knows his role. He played alongside of Kawhi Leonard.
Do we want a guy like Mario Ellie? Do we want to?
I don't need a bruiser in today's NBA.
You don't think we need
an enforcer.
A tough guy like that anymore? Because there is a narrative that we need to go get one to protect women.
No. What has it done for Marcus Smart? Nothing.
Hair dye aside.
Nothing.
We'll continue. Van Vliet floats around. We'll see if he continues to be available. All right. Airplane travelers, we got some news. Have you ever been on an airplane that you felt like you wanted it to be a convertible? Well, guess what? They're coming. You want a moonroof and a plane? Guess what? It might be available. We'll look at the future of your air travel coming around the corner. You're on R&R, and this is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'll tell you what, you wake up every morning and all you're trying to do is get busy. And if pain is keeping you out of life, listen closely. There's a fix out there. It's called a Rosti. If you're going through bottles of Tylenol and you're going through bottles of Advil and you've turned down an invitation to do something because something hurts, why? Life is too short. Rosti providers are all around San Antonio just waiting to help you. See, they are highly trained medical experts in the business to do one thing: get you out of pain as fast as possible without the need of over-the-counter or prescribed painkillers, without the need for surgery or long-term treatment. I'm talking about your body healing itself with the expertise of Rosti. See, Rosti has taken care of me for the last 5 years. I've had lower back issues since I can remember. And every time it would hit, I was on my back for 3 weeks. And we all know, if you've got back issues, how bad that can be. I went to Rosti for the first time to deal with it 5 years ago. Since then, I'm not going to lie to you, it's happened before, but it's shorter. And now I know how to get myself out of pain because they taught me that. If you're dealing with a soft tissue injury, sprains or strains, a locked shoulder, frozen shoulder, bad hips, maybe it's plantar fasciitis with your feet, tension headaches that wrap around the back of your neck and hit you right in the nose. If it's painful, Arasti can help. And when you go to an Arasti provider, they accept most insurances. And here's the good news. You don't have to go through the rigmarole of finding and getting the referral. You can just call them. You never need a referral to go see an Arasti provider. Write this number down. It's 1-800-404-6050. 1-800-404-6050. The website's got a great map of all the locations. Listen to me. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. It's 2023. Call Arasta. Let them fix you. And when they do, thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up at 2 on The Blitz, Shireen Williams joins us to talk a little Cowboys football and, well, a little football in general. I'm going to sit down with Terry Bradshaw, the Blonde Bomber. He'll join us on The Blitz starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We see some patients who come in and they have been in just so much pain for so long that they are just deflated.
But that's about to change because QC Kinetics provides hope for relief using all new regenerative treatments that concentrate your body's own healing properties into aching hips, back, shoulders, and knees. And Dr. Zuckerman, a medical director at QC Kinetics, loves watching the patient transformations.
One of the most amazing things is when I get to see a patient who, after a few months of our treatments, is just a completely different person. They are smiling and happy, and the weight of the world is off their shoulders because we were able to take away their pain.
And that's with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime.
It's just amazing to be able to change people's lives like that. It's very gratifying.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
Meet Joe A, Joe B, and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
O'Reilly. Stay cool this summer with AC Pro and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get a $15 O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card after rebate plus 2 times O Rewards points with the purchase of select AC Pro ready-to-use refrigerant products that include a hose and gauge. If your vehicle's AC is blowing hot air, beat the heat with AC Pro at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I was in a terrible accident with a commercial vehicle. I had to have surgery on my back. My life was turned upside down and I was completely screwed. Then I called the Force, the Davis law firm. Jeff personally handled my case. After expenses and attorney fees, I received $397,988. It's really true. Jeff was here for me.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you were injured by a car or large truck, call me at my San Antonio office at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. There's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
There's never been a better time to get that engagement ring or fine diamond jewelry. Right now at Diamonds Direct, our most exciting offer ever. You can get instant savings up to $5,000 off any purchase or enjoy special financing for up to 5 whole years. Either way, you save big. You can't miss this limited time offer. Design your perfect ring and get our most gorgeous and most flexible financing options. Now through June 30th at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get details, store hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
What if you could build a 6-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a 6-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets.
The Denver Nuggets have finally done it.
The 2023 NBA Finals champion. The Nuggets win the NBA Finals for the first time in Nugget team history. No joke. The Joker wins the MVP. And you heard it here all season long on your exclusive home for the NBA. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, it's R&R in the morning here on San Antonio Sports Star. You're just a couple of minutes away from Gunslinger tickets. As the Gunslingers get back into business, they took a week off and a little preparation week. They're in first place. They're headed toward a championship game. Go support them this Sunday. If you want to win some tickets, hold on. In about 15 minutes, you will have your opportunity to do just that. I was reading, the news this morning. You get the daily download from all the different services. And there was an article about air flight travel. The whole thing was, this last year they tested the system and it failed. You couldn't get on a plane. Everything fell apart. Booking systems we just hadn't come back from COVID yet. And this year traveling is
back to normal
for
the most part.
And new airplanes are being ordered where, all the big airlines kind of held off for a little bit. Now they're ordering new airplanes. And the story started out with the new seats are about an inch smaller than they were even 10 years ago in width. Ooh. So they went from 18 and a half inches to about 17 and a half inches. And for those of us who've carried around a little bit of junk in the trunk, a couple mud flaps, you know what I'm talking about?
Those of us with hips.
We have squeezed into our share of little tiny seats. They went on to say that while seats are getting smaller, some of the things that go into the plane are improving. I mean, we have access to screens now and all our entertainment, and the way food's going to be distributed is changing. And even the way that they seat, they're looking at a new method where there's going to be one level of seats on one level, and then the seats behind you will be up higher. So you have a little bit
like
more
stadium
room.
seating.
Yeah, like stadium seating.
Like a movie room.
So it'll be kind of like up and down, all this stuff. Another advancement appears to be with the advent of space-age polymers. I like saying that.
What's
space-age polymers.
I'll take a shot to that. I don't know what a polymer is.
It's a polymer. Evidently, it's they're going to design airplanes with a moonroof.
So translucent?
That's a good word too. Let me drink. Where's mine? Translucent.
I mean, I think this.
I don't want a plane with a moonroof. I don't want to see the lightning. I don't want to see.
You're above the clouds, brother.
Well, that's what will I see? I don't want to see into space either.
You don't have. Guess what? Now you don't have to fight over the window seat. Now you are an aisle guy because you're 6'4", you're tall and you like the aisle so you can stretch out that left knee.
Well, I use that as a really good excuse, and it's true. But I also have a terrible fear of heights.
All the planes you've been on?
I'm not saying I've ever been comfortable, and planes have been easier. But I do have this.
I have a fear
sense of foreboding.
Like the only heights I'm scared of is that the ladder that kind of extends. I'm scared to death to get on those.
Let me tell you, you put me on an airplane with a moonroof, you'd have to treat me like a horse with blinders.
Why? You can't see anything up there.
Well, you'd have to put like something around my eyes so all I could see is the TV or something like that. Because if I start looking around and I see the openness, the vacuum of space, I'm losing it, bro.
I do marvel at our confidence in man with planes. Like, you don't really there's a few times I've been up there because I'm not afraid of flying, but there's a few times I've been up there and I'm like, this is really stupid. You know what I mean? To really put this much confidence in man, that, this thing that's flying 30,000 feet in the air, they got us.
And you want to be able to see around.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great thing. Now, the thing is, you're going to have some hell of a tent because ain't we closer to the sun? I don't know. I'm not that good at, that type of stuff, but aren't we closer to the sun up there?
I would assume it's a little bit warmer. It just would scare the fool out of me because you've been in a plane when it's going through a storm and you can see the lightning kind of flash the window.
Now that I've seen.
And you're like, oh, this ain't good. Can you imagine being it all around you? Like you look up and you see lightning striking above you and all around you. And no, No,
well then why stop there? Let's just make the whole plane see through, feet and everything.
Yeah, like the
what
Wonder
now
Woman
that
plane.
would be scary if they made the bottom.
What's the worst flight you've ever been on?
It was a flight coming back from Orlando.
Bumpy?
And, oh man, that's the only flight I've been on, knock on wood, where the turbulence was like, this is different. And then one time I flew to Monterrey. I flew on one of those planes with just one seat in the aisle, and you can feel the plane shake when you go through clouds, like literally shaking. I just went to sleep because I was by myself. My wife had already drove over there, and I flew because I was working.
Was it on a plane?
It was a
flight,
little
was
bitty
it Aero
plane.
Litoral? Is that
yes, the Aero Mexico, Mexico, whatever.
Those puddle
dude,
jumpers.
that thing was small. So the flight back from Orlando in that small ass plane going to Monterrey.
I felt safer in those little planes. I don't know why. Until I got on one of those and I was sitting, it was like one row and one row, right? And the guy the pilot gets on. He looked like he was about 18, had Wayfarers, Ray-Ban Wayfarers on, like his loose pilot tie.
Yeah.
And he pointed at me. He goes, I need you to sit on the other side.
Did he say
why?
why?
I'd thrown the weight off. And I thought, oh, crap.
Why did he sing you out? Because you were the tallest?
I think he looked down the row of like 20 of us and go, no, I need you to move over here. And I was like,
I think that is big
why?
people shaming.
Yeah, I was like, why? He goes, well, the weight, your weight. You know,
how long did you fight with them?
You think I'm gonna fight?
I didn't know if you went Karen.
I asked for a parachute.
Did you go Ken on him and like, I'm not moving?
No, I was like, what? He goes, wait. And I looked down, I was like, oh my God. So if I stay on this side, we're going to fly at an angle the entire way?
Dude, I would have been like, this is bull crap. I don't weigh that much. Like, stop it. Like, y'all got me, you making me feel like I'm going to tilt the plane.
This is my pre-IFF days.
Okay.
I was
you're
pushing 3 bills. I was pushing
thick.
a few bills there. I mean, but that should have been the moment I was most terrified. But I took some comfort in watching him fly. I don't know why it made me feel better watching him deal with it, because you could.
I appreciate that though. I want somebody. I'd rather switch seats 100 times if it means I'm gonna land.
Now, when I'm on a big plane, I watch the flight attendants. If they look nervous, I get scared. When you see the flight attendant walk down the aisle and she's strapping that seatbelt on and tying it tight,
a part of his or her job though, Rob, is to never show that.
Right. And when you see them like run down the aisle and sit in that jump seat and strap that belt on, you're like, hold on tight, baby. This is going to be a rough one.
So you've had, yeah. So
We're
you've been on one of those.
We got another hour and we're going to do it really, really well. We promise. We'll be right back. This is R&R and you're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
KTFM Floresville on YouTube and always at sasportstar.com. sasportstar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The big fella Nikola Jokic win the finals MVP, 30 points, 14 boards, and 7 assists, and he couldn't care less. He just wants to go home. Wembanyama is one loss away from getting ready for the NBA draft next week. They go down 2-0 to Monaco. Game 3 will be Thursday out there at the Roland Garros where they play the French Open. And the Texans are rushing J.J. Watt into the Ring of Honor because Andre Johnson is lonely.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
It's 0600. What's the O stand for? Oh my God, it's early.
Wake me up, wake me up, wake up, wake me up,
wake me up, wake up. Rob Thompson.
Ginobili the other way in transition.
I want some nasty.
Rudy J.
Cowboys win. How else would you settle this game?
Begin each day as if it were on purpose.
I wake up in the morning, I kiss excellent.
R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
It's R&R. You're on San Antonio Sports Star. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are just the beginning of a full sporting day. Just a couple of hours away from the Blitz, who will give you 4 hours of radio talk starting at 2 o'clock. Joe will be alone one more day. He and James will take you into the evening, and Shireen's going to be with him today. Shireen Williams for her weekly, and also Terry Bradshaw going to be sitting in with Joe today.
Yeah, your favorite Fox Sunday pregame analyst.
If you like crazy old coots, why not?
Yeah.
No, not a lot of football coming out of Terry.
But Terry, Terry talks like this. So we find it. He's Charles Barkley.
No. No.
What do you mean no?
Charles at least has a considered opinion.
They play the same role. Charles Barkley hasn't gotten anything right in 10 years.
Oh, no, I'm not. It's not that. But Bradshaw's just goofy. I think Barkley tries to be serious and kind of, jokes around, but Bradshaw's just goofy. The whole thing he's doing, like, take my money. What is all this thing? Have you ever done any of that?
No.
I don't even know what that is.
Me neither.
And then he's got his own TV special, too, with his daughters and horses and whatnot.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's got a TV special with his whole family.
So if Joe texted you and said, "Hey, Rob, give me a question for Terry," what would it be?
I want you to describe the differences between Chuck Noll's coaching style and where we are now, and Mike Tomlin. Well, how could players today function under the 70s ideals of what football is? Now, obviously, pay and all that. I'm not talking about that, but just the game inside the lines.
That's a great
How
question,
different
actually.
is it? Because
maybe you should sit in for Joe today. I don't think Joe's going to come up with anything
extraordinary
that
interviewer.
He is. He's been doing it for a long time.
Looking at last night as we put the NBA to bed for a week before we head to the draft there in Brooklyn next week. What are you gonna remember about this NBA season when we ask you about it in a couple of years?
Wow, what am I gonna remember? I'm gonna remember the Miami Heat's run.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna remember Joker getting over the hump. I'm gonna remember Wemby. I'm gonna remember that, the Rue Pub.
Yeah.
That was like, that was epic.
This year the league uncorked how many 50 burgers? How many 40 burgers?
See, I don't even remember.
It was
I don't
so
think I'm gonna
many
remember that.
That it became everyday occurrence. We're used to a 40-point game was a once a week kind
That
of
was
a
like
thing.
leading Sports Center. Now it's like no big deal. Sometimes they don't even like talk about it. They just put it at the bottom of the ticker because it's so common.
I believe that when I look back on this season, it will be the ascendance of the big man again. That we went away from what the big man was for a couple of years for this idea of chasing threes. And it's not lost on me that last night was the epitome of what most modern old dudes watching modern basketball hate. It was a 3-point exhibition, the likes of which we haven't seen since Houston went 0 for 18.
63 threes last night.
And they only made like 23 of them.
Not even that.
It was a miserable shooting performance. But I won't remember the season for that. I won't remember 94 or whatever it was, 83 or whatever the final score was. I won't remember the last game because the last game did not represent the NBA this year. The last game of the season, the last game we watched was pulled right out of 99, 97.
It wasn't that
the
bad.
last of when it got so bad they had to start changing the rules. That's what it felt like last night. Watching Bam Adebayo roll out and be allowed. I'm not mad at Bam. They let him do it. But beat the living crap out of Jokic for the first 8 minutes and not a call. Not one. Not one.
But that's what we want.
It was a great game. I don't want to take
No.
away
I'm
from
just
the
saying
game.
we hate when refs overcall the game.
But I don't want the
but you also don't want to be tackled.
I hate the let them play mantra. I hate, what does that mean?
What
Let
do you
them
mean?
foul? When I hear fans, when I hear anybody screaming at refs, let them play. Does that mean let them foul? Is that what you're telling? Let them foul.
Okay, so let me be clear on this. So you think every time that was a foul, what Bam was doing?
No, not every time. But, I think the refs had an opportunity to set the line. Now, what they did do, to their credit, now, I didn't appreciate them swallowing the whistles, but at least they swallowed the whistle on both sides. But I will say Miami started so hard that they had a lot more fouls called on them. I mean, Denver was in the penalty like 8 minutes into the third.
Yeah.
So it worked to some extent. They mucked up the game and they kept it close. And to Spoelstra's credit, I think that's the only thing they could have done. I just felt like the last game of the season was a bit of a travesty. To watch what had been the story in my mind was
so
offense, offense, offense. It was 50 burgers and 40 burgers and guys averaging 30-point triple doubles. Hell, we had 2 30-point triple doubles from two dudes in the same game and in the same series. We have a game that's tied 83-all with 3 minutes to go. In the same series 3 days later. It's like they went from hard court to clay. You know what? You did good here. Let's see how you good on this surface with these guys. Yeah. And I think Malone knew it was coming. He knew it was coming. I kept wondering yesterday, why is Malone so afraid?
He wasn't afraid. He just wanted to have the proper fear. Nothing wrong with the proper fear. We know that.
Well, he saw what we should have remembered as Spurs fans. He saw the list of referees and went, "Oh crap, here we go."
Yeah. I think another thing I remember last night, and it just goes to show sometimes you need a little bit of help when you. Again, I pray that I get old. Getting old is a blessing, but Stan Kroenke having a microphone at his mouth and deciding to whisper to Lisa Salter his answers. I'm like, bro, that's what the mic is for, Stan. Why are you saying your answer? Did you see that, Edwin? He was every time she'd ask him a question, he would lean over into her ear. And I'm like, bro, that's what the mic is for. Somebody, his son, daughter, niece, nephew, somebody's got to be there to tell him, Dad, talk into the mic.
And it's not the first time you've been here, dude. Every team you own wins.
Like, why are you whispering to her like y'all are having a conversation at the club? I was like, damn, man, is that what it's like when you get a little bit old? Again, I pray I get old, but I was like, dude, the mic. Use the mic, Stan. Use the mic. But I've never seen a superstar more uninterested.
Is there a dynasty imminent here? How far away is Denver from a dynasty?
Dude, that you got to sustain this for like 6 years. You got to sustain this. Like, there's some people that you ask because I don't think they're Spurs haters just because they just not here in it. That because the Spurs didn't go back to back, they're not a dynasty, even though they won 3 and 5 years.
So as a Spur fan, I say 3 and 5.
3 and 5. 3 and 5. So you don't consider the Heatles a dynasty, 2 and 2 in the finals? Even though they went to 4.
They were. I mean,
they went to 4 straight finals.
Yeah, and I think because they had been there so often, the 2
I don't
straight
consider
matters.
them a dynasty.
I
don't.
Probably not. I think 3 and 5. I think the longevity of half a decade of competence. I mean, they both fulfill that, but they lost a couple of them. So I'm not sure how that plays into the dynasty.
And one of them, the Spurs ran you out of the gym and broke the team up. But no, the Denver's a long way away. You got to sustain.
So we should just throw this out universally. Let's define what a dynasty is, so we don't have to ask the question.
3 and 5.
It's 3 and 5 Denver. So go get it. But what are the possibilities here? Because what does Denver face next year? We know that Phoenix is probably going to. I mean, they still got Durant, and that's about it. But I figure they're going to be back in the hunt.
I would bet right now Vegas odds have them as the odds-on favorite to win it all
easily. But
and their core 4 is already stable. They're just going to, shuffle some pieces here and there. When I look at Edwin pulled up their roster, they got pretty much the damn near the whole team except for Ian Smith didn't play. Jeff Green, you can do without him. Thomas Bryant, don't matter. DeAndre Jordan. So pretty much the band is coming back. Bruce Brown, it has what is that? Green is a player option. Yeah, if I'm Bruce,
be back. Unless he's going to get a raise.
When I look at Gabe Vincent, Austin Reeves, Bruce Brown, there's some guys out there that made themselves some money. So they got some decisions to make. Bruce has a decision to make because there's going to be the Milwaukee may want him. He's one of those pieces that if you feel like you're close, you add, and then you just take the highest bidder.
He hit that layup. Didn't he hit the shot to put him ahead forever?
Yeah, that was a big shot. That was a huge offensive rebound.
Mr. Bruce Brown will be remembered for that play forever. He'll never buy another lunch in Denver because that was the play that put it to bed, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they went up. I don't think they ever went back down after that.
So Denver's comfortable. I think Denver sees the future. Play your cards right, stay healthy, everything. We're going to be in contention for the foreseeable future. Where does Miami sit here? Because they've been here for a while. This is, 6 years in a row where we've seen them play late.
Man, it's a tough spot for Miami to be in because again, they're in that category of teams that we don't just take you because you good. Like you got to fit what we do and you got to be down and you got to play for the guy next to you. So yeah, there's James Harden out there. There's Kyrie Irving out there. There's a possibility you can go and trade for Dame, but do they fit what you all like to do and what you all are all about? Are they going to want to weigh in every day? Are they going to want to are they going to want to run their, your tongue to the ground in the middle of the season? The Spurs were a lot like that too. I think Denver's going to be in that situation too, where it's like, nah, he's really good. And I'm sure he can get buckets for us, but he ain't one of us. So I think that's why this is going to be really tough for Miami, because if I'm Pat Riley, I'm pulling my hair out because when we do get to the finals, we just look overwhelmed.
They did.
Against the Lakers, they were overwhelmed. Denver, they finally beat Denver, and then Denver just runs off 3 straight against them. It was never, even if they would have won last night, Miami, this series was never in jeopardy.
No.
Denver was just better.
And Spoelstra admitted that.
And they missed 10 free throws and still beat them.
And the 3-point shooting, at what point, and you never will hear it from NBA coaches because Malone wanted him to keep shooting, but I couldn't imagine going into that fourth quarter and telling my guys to take open threes.
But you Bobby Knight.
I know, and I hate being that guy, but if I was looking across the floor and I see Miami shooting as bad as I am, like, don't take another three. They're not going to shoot themselves away from us.
But see, ain't that how you lose a game when you stop
exactly
being who
why
you are?
I'm sitting where I am and not over there. That's exactly right, and that's why he won a ring. They kept doing it, but it would have been so hard for me to do that. Just so hard. Yeah, wide open three-pointer with three dudes standing under the rim. Take it. Why not?
Is it weird to see the coach talking about winning more titles? Because that's the first thing Malone said.
Let's listen to Malone, and he certainly took a page out of somebody else who's been here before's history on winning a title and winning another.
Pat Riley said something many years ago. I used to have it up on my board when I was a head coach in Sacramento, and I talked about the evolution in this game and how you go from a nobody to an upstart, and you go an upstart to a winner, and a winner to a contender, and a contender to a champion. And the last step is after a champion is to be a dynasty. So we're not satisfied. We accomplished something this franchise has never done before, but we have a lot of young, talented players in that locker room. And I think we just showed through 16 playoff wins what we're capable of on the biggest stage in the world.
That's that Nick Saban.
What was that?
Dude, like, you can 24 hours? Can we we can't get 24 hours, Mike, before we start talking about next year? Well, Pat Riley famously predicted back-to-back.
He did.
And then that next year when they did go back-to-back, Kareem covered his mouth when he was about to say three-peat. Pat Riley invented three-peat.
He trademarked three-peat.
But they didn't ever get it.
No, he got the trademark. But
No,
they never got it. But he trademarked three-peat. So if you put it on a shirt, you got to pay Pat. What was the listing? So you start underdog to upstart to winner to contender to champion to dynasty. Underdog, upstart, winner, contender, champion, dynasty. Where are the Spurs? They underdog or upstart?
If this dude is who they say he is, it's upstart.
I like this list.
No, contender. I'm sorry.
Contender.
But not right now.
So that's second on the level. You're underdog.
No, you know
upstart,
what?
Winner.
They're
contender.
upstart. They're upstart. I'm sorry.
They're second level.
Yeah.
Now last year they were underdog.
No, last year it was worse than underdog.
Underdog
last year it was
completely.
worse than underdog.
Well, the NFL continues to offer. We're going to look forward to next season. There's some dudes that we know their names. Was it time to put them up in lights? Who are going to be the future all-stars, our Pro Bowlers? Let's look forward to a season with new dudes doing old things. We'll continue with the NFL next. You're on R&R, and this is San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and sasportstar.com.
Father's Day weekend is upon us, and I want you to take care of your pops. This is what I want you to do. Saturday, June 17th, 1 p.m. to 10 p.m., I want you to take your dad out to Golf Club of Texas for a summer barbecue bash. Food, fun, and friends. You take the kids with them. Everybody have a good time. Let them go out to the 10-cup bar. Get him whatever drink he wants. They got a full bar stocked to the rim. They're going to have the moon bounce, water balloons, burgers, popcorn, agua fresca, snow cone machine, hot dogs, fruit cups, nachos, and even the game of bingo is going to break out at 6. And then what I want you to do, I want you to go to golfclubtexas.com and book them a tee time on Father's Day and say, you know what, Dad, you know what, hubby, go out to Golf Club of Texas, have yourself a good time, shoot 117, just have yourself a good time out at Golf Club of Texas. They've got rain, and I've seen pictures. The course is in great shape. So take them to the Summer Bash Barbecue on Saturday. Then Sunday, book him a tea time, tell him and his buddies to go out there and have a great time at Golf Club of Texas, and then have some food at one of the best sit-down restaurants on that side of town out there. Again, the best rates are at golfclubtexas.com. Summer Barbecue Bash, great golf, Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up at 2 on the Blitz, Shireen Williams joins us to talk a little Cowboys football and, well, a little football in general. I'm going to sit down with Terry Bradshaw, the Blonde Bomber. He'll join us on the Blitz starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey everyone, Michael Kielbasa here with Kielbasa Smoked Meats. Since 1949, we've made our sausage with real smoke and honest meat to create our uncompromising slow method to craft that famous mouth-watering Kielbasa experience. I hope that when you see our product, you pick it up, take it home and try it. And if it's not the best you've ever tasted, I'll give you your money back. guaranteed. Find Kielbasa smoked meats in a store near you today.
Hey guys, did you know June is Men's Health Month? Prioritize your health and address those issues you've been ignoring. Revive Men's Health San Antonio has guaranteed low T and ED solutions. Book your free exam and T-check today and save $199. And find out how you can get a free 1-month supply of custom ED medication. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
Whether you're planning a backyard barbecue, a dinner party, or just looking to unwind after a long day, Texas Cheer Liquor has you covered. Visit Texas Cheer Liquor today and experience the best selection and service in the Lone Star State. Texas Cheer Liquor.
Looking for a protein-packed snack to power you through the day? Of course you are. Only Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have the bold flavors you crave. Spicy dill, Korean kimchi, pasilla chili cheese, and more. Take your snacking to a whole new level with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. And keto fans, you're going to love this low-carb crunch. Get yours at H-E-B and online at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
Southern Recipe pork rinds.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Here in Texas, the heat is relentless. The storms are serious. The hail is insane. Texas weather doesn't do anything halfway, and neither should your roofer. Hi, I'm Joe Reinagle. You know, your roof protects your home and your family. So whether you need a simple repair or a roof replacement, metal or composition, you need a roofer you can trust. That's Stevens Roofing. They're reputable, reliable, and have always been your local roofer. Call Stevens Roofing today for a free estimate, 210-785-0994, or go online at stevensroofing.net.
The year is almost half over and you're still dealing with that knee or hip pain. Enough is enough. Pills are not the answer. Surgery is not the answer. You need to call QC Kinetics today. Hey, it's James Pledger with 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The advanced regenerative medicine solutions at QC Kinetics can give you life without chronic joint pain. You can do all those summer activities you used to enjoy. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in taking healing properties from your own body and then applying them right into your achy joint, so your joint tissue can be repaired and restored naturally. The treatment is truly revolutionary. Patients across America are having life-changing results, and there's no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. If you have pain in your knees, back, shoulders, hips, you need to stop what you're doing and call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can give you your life back. Call 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets.
The Denver Nuggets have finally done it.
The 2023 NBA Finals champion. The Nuggets win the NBA Finals for the first time in Nugget team history. No joke. The Joker wins the MVP. And you heard it here all season long on your exclusive home for the NBA. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
That sounds like football music. It's R&R.
I think this is we went from Sports Star to Altitude. Damn, we're doing the guy that sets the schedule may or may not be from Denver. Why is he not in Denver? You know, if this was the Broncos, he wouldn't be here. So that lets me know he ain't a real Nugget fan.
Nah,
he ain't a real Nugget fan.
I would like to think.
What is he doing in San Antonio? Speaking of Tim Spence, if he was truly a Nugget fan, he would have flown home Sunday. Did you see the scene there last night?
Oh my gosh, that Denver has a love affair with the Nuggets. I'd like to think, because
I don't think so.
I mean, they've been there since the Spurs have been in San Antonio. I mean, the Nuggets have been around for about as long. I think there is a passionate, if not smaller, fan base inside Denver. But it looked like those that care, they were out and about last night.
What happened? We got some. Is
Nine
this
wounded
kind
in
of
a Denver
breaking
shooting.
news?
I mean, it's just another night when a bunch of people are together. But
I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be that guy. We don't celebrate like that.
No,
nobody
we
ever
drive in
got
circles.
Yeah, nobody ever got shot on Commerce. Well, not after a Spurs game, not after a Spurs chip. Now there's been a few stabbings and shootings on Commerce, but not after the Spurs win. I never understood blowing up the city because you won an NBA title
or burning your own couch. I never understood why I'm going to take my couch out of my apartment and set it on fire.
Well, some couches need to be set on fire.
I guess that then if they're easily combustible, maybe they should be. Looking forward to this season.
Are you looking forward? Okay. College, NFL, what are you looking for most?
Oh, well, I'm a college football guy. I mean,
it's like Saturdays better than Sundays.
It's 50. No,
you know what? Maybe you do because you went there. Like maybe if I went to one of these schools, I would be, because I know, but look, Rob, there's millions that have no time for Sunday. Just no time for it. Like it's like they are college football fans. That's the only reason why I'm asking you. Like, what's more important?
Just the Aggies.
What's more important to you?
It's not just the Aggies. I love the difference between Saturdays and Sundays, especially when we're talking about September and October.
But it's regional, Rob.
But it is. You're right, and I get it. But one of the things that I do love about watching a game on television is if I'm going to pay attention, I'd like to know the fans that are there are having a good time. And when you turn on a Sunday game in September, and I know it's hot. I mean, you watch a game in Tampa in September, it is hot as balls out there.
Right.
I understand why the fans are kind of like dead. But when you watch that if we are in Jacksonville or wherever we might be, and in September we see Georgia show up, the fans are going bananas. I like the crowd kind of influence on watching TV. So obviously the game isn't as precise or perfect as the NFL. But there is something about Saturdays that will always draw me in first. And Sunday's about precision. It's about expertise. It's about expanding the craft to the very best it can be and all the things that pro should be. So I'm 50-50. I know I have close family members that you're right. Sundays,
no biggie, right?
Unless the Cowboys won 8 straight, I might tune in. But for the most part, I'm a Saturday football fan. That's not me.
See, Saturday, I've grown to love college football. I wasn't always a fan, but now I find myself really tapped in on Saturdays. And because I didn't go to any of them, if USC's on late and I'm at home, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, because there's something to just our
it feels like
football,
every game matters when it's certain teams.
It feels like for me, and this is a massive extrapolation for a naive American, but it does feel to me, as I've started to grow into the soccer culture around the world, just accepting what is coming, that our college football is much like the mid-level soccer teams in, say, London, like name the East Rutherford. You know what I mean? Like those small towns that this is their team. They might have sucked for 100 years, but it's their team. That's their college football. I mean,
it matters.
And it does matter. There's a lineage there, and it doesn't matter who's playing. It's the color. And I think that of the uniform, and I think it's more collegiate than it is for the pros. I think pros.
I mean, you look at Ryan Reynolds, that team he owns. It's been a big deal for them
forever, and that's their small college. It's their Sam Houston State. You're born into it, you live it, you die it.
But I want to watch Alabama LSU at 3:30
because that's a pro football game.
Well, that's true. Maybe
you're watching 22 on the field at any given time, and 20 of them are going to be getting paid to do it.
True that.
From a team instead of a booster at some point. Over the last couple of years, it has been an unprecedented switch from old quarterbacking to new. Think of all the new quarterbacks that have taken over in the last 4 to 5 years.
Okay.
And that's just that one position, but it is a reflection of where the NFL is going. And this year, as we come into this season, what's the expectation for the next? As we watch these young quarterbacks grow, who are the next Pro Bowlers? Is it Brock Purdy? Is he the guy that's going to be the next guy to step into this lineage of new quarterbacks?
You know what, man? The world is going to make me root against Brock Purdy. I'm so sick. And it's not you. It ain't just you. The first name on this list on CBS of 20 candidates to become first-time Pro Bowlers is Brock Purdy.
Now
we've made this guy out to be like, they act like he took, the Chicago Bears to the NFC title game. Kyle Shanahan, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Debo, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, good Lord. Who hasn't Kyle Shanahan made good? He made Matt Schaub a Pro Bowler. Why are y'all going to make me root against Brock Purdy? I don't want to root against Mr. Irrelevant. That's like punching a dude with glasses.
You made
It
Matt
ain't
Schaub
right.
a Pro Bowler.
Yeah. Like, why are we celebrating Brock Purdy like this? Gosh.
I think you're just mad because the second guy on the list is Justin Fields. I think if
me
Justin
tell-
would have been first, you'd
Let
have
me
been all
tell
over
you
it.
something. Justin Fields ain't gonna be no damn Pro Bowler next year. I'm standing, as what Rob would say. I'm gonna put on my Rob hat. I'm standing staunch on the fact that the Bears should not have traded out of the number 1 pick, should have brought in Bryce Young and either kicked Justin Fields to the curb or at the very least made them compete. This isn't even Ryan Pace's guy. So no, Justin Fields moving on. He ain't gonna be no damn Pro Bowler. I don't give a damn what receivers or running backs he has.
I know all of that, but he is a hell of an athlete. And given
Yes,
just
he is.
a little bit of help, he could be extraordinary.
He's a freak. He's a freak athlete. I need a freak on 3rd and 12, and you got to throw it to the sideline with a cornerback beaming down on you. And as a 2-minute drill, you got no timeouts, and you make sure he gets out of bounds. You put it in the perfect place. That's cool to have an athlete. That's cool.
It's nice to have a guy who could also just grab the ball and go, just run right and keep going until they tackle you. Now, this kind of gets in when he's talking about future Pro Bowlers.
What's up?
There's kind of a crosshatch between future Pro Bowlers and fantasy value. Fantasy football value. And yeah, obviously, I'm not going to draft Brock Purdy, and I'm not going to draft Justin Fields. But when we start talking about running backs, fantasy football players pay attention. Remember these names. Travis Etienne finally had a good year, a healthy year last year with Jacksonville. The expectation is he will add to that 11-25, 5 touchdowns season last year with 220 carries. So I like Travis Etienne.
I like the Jacksonville Jaguars as a whole, especially with Peterson.
And they're also adding Calvin Ridley, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley and his
as long as he's not playing the ponies, you know what I mean?
DraftKings, yeah.
Or whatever it might be. That's another name to mention. Now, one of the Damian Pierce with Houston, there's a lot of smoke coming out of Houston about him.
He's a dog. He's a dog. He was a dog last year as a rookie. They knew that Davis Mills couldn't throw the ball, and Damian Pierce was still eating.
Coming off an ankle injury, workhorse back, that DeMeco Ryans, a defensive guy, understands how to use a running back.
Right.
I think that guy
Now,
could be in for a hell of a year.
Does it scare you that Devontae Smith is on this list with coming off the season that they just had? If Devontae Smith gets better, does it scare you, Cowboy fan?
It should. It better. I'll tell you what, if they get a dual-sided deep threat like we thought they were going to have, that's far more valuable than the running back, in my mind, as far as Jalen Hurts goes. I think if they can stretch the defense, and I think Cowboys see it. They paid attention to their corners and their safeties. They see what Philadelphia is trying to do. And Devonta, if he does, he had 136 targets last year, 95 receptions, nearly 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns. It wasn't like he had a less than Pro Bowl year
How
last
the
year.
hell did he not make the Pro Bowl?
I know. I mean, I read those numbers.
What else you got? Well, I guess when you got Debo and AJ and CD and Justin Jefferson, it's tough.
This is the article from CBS. I'm going to quote directly, but Smith has all of the Jalen Hurts trust as a gutsy crunch time target. He's now got 1,000-yard campaign off which to build. And of course, he's always going to be protected with AJ Brown on the other side. He doesn't see a lot of double teams.
Yeah.
Just doesn't see it. Cowboy fan, be afraid. Kadarius Toney is a name that's interesting just because he gets plugged into the Kansas City system.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is there's certain guys, if you can't succeed in Kansas City, then you should head for the XFL. I don't know how you can't succeed in Kansas City.
One last question to be answered, and he's currently has spent plenty of time playing in Pro Bowls. Are you still amazed to see D-Hop even considering New England?
I am, because of what happened with Bill O'Brien, the way that thing ended. But I mean, if they're going to offer you, if they're going to give you the money, you let bygones be bygones.
It just, given the narrative, it tells me that if you want D-Hop, you could probably get him relatively cheap. If he's
the reports that I've been reading is 1 year, $10 million is what the Patriots are considering. And then the Patriots went and cut a running back that had a non-guaranteed contract. So it looks like the writing's on the wall that they're going to try to give Mac Jones not only an offensive coordinator, but somebody to throw the ball to. Watch out, Jets. Watch out, Miami. Watch out, Buffalo. that might be the best conference in the league this year, that AFC East, especially if he gets D-Hop and Bill O'Brien. I mean, no one ever said he's a great coach, but he's always been a solid offensive coordinator. And AFC East is must-see TV, baby.
Headed that direction. We're coming back talking NFL, specifically your Dallas Cowboys. Have OTAs completed? Where are they headed next? We're looking closely at the Star. Hold on. Cowboy Talk coming. This is R&R, and you're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Where are you going this afternoon? I hope you're headed over to Twin Peaks. You know, Twin Peaks, 4 locations around San Antonio, is a very special place in my heart because I know when I walk into the place, I'll be surrounded by friends of like mind and TVs as far as the eye can see, because we all know greatness is measured in degrees, right? I'm talking about 360 degrees, a big old TV staring at you. I'm talking about 29-degree cold beer. You know how you know it's 29 degrees? The thermometer above the bar. Yeah, I'm talking about the degree of happiness that you walk into Twin Peaks with, and that's all the time. And coming up this week, not only are happy hours in play, and you know when you head over to happy hour, Monday through Friday, 2 to 7, you score sweet deals like $1 off all wine and liquor and freezing cold 29-degree beers. But feeling snacky, you've got all the select apps available for $2, $4, and $6. And if you're a night owl, come on back for awesome specials late into the evening, because that's what Twin Peaks does for us. Bourbon and Brews get busy again on Friday, and that's a celebration of the finest bourbons and lingerie, and you know what that means. And of course, when there's big games on, they were always on at Twin Peaks. 4 locations around San Antonio, De Zavala and I-10. You know, on 151, you're always taken care of. Park North, man, fine location for sure. Brand new one over there right next to the IKEA. That's 4 Twin Peaks all around our city. If you haven't been, go. What are you waiting on? Because you know when you walk in, the eats are always spectacular. The drinks are icy cold, made by the mixologist with you in mind. But why do we go? It's so easy. It's those scenic views.
There's never been a better time to get that engagement ring or fine diamond jewelry. Right now at Diamonds Direct, our most exciting offer ever. You can get instant savings up to $5,000 off any purchase or enjoy special financing for up to 5 whole years. Either way, you save big. You can't miss this limited time offer. Design your perfect ring and get our most gorgeous and most flexible financing options. Now through June 30th at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get details, store hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go. So I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partner with Beacon. With the new Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips. It's like having my Beacon rep in my pocket 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through June, purchase through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Beacon, always building.
At Lowe's, we're always bringing pros more ways to save. Right now, buy a DeWalt 20-volt max brushless drill kit for just $99. That's $60 in total savings. Plus, earn up to 3 times the bonus points per dollar when you buy select Eaton multi-packs. Shop in-store or online for deals you can't beat. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 6/1 through 7/5 while supplies last. U.S. only. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 6/30. Subject to change.
If car designers can make cars look like anything, why are there so many boring cars? Why not a car that looks like an ancient sword? Or the future? The sky isn't even the limit at Nissan. Why be boring when you can make a katana blade slice through traffic? That's the Nissan Z. Or something from the future whizzing by. And that's the Aria. Nissan. We design for thrill. 2023 Aria has limited availability. See dealer for financing details.
Have you seen the cost of eggs lately? With these prices, we'd barely be scraping by if it weren't for Dave. It's the banking app that advances us up to $500 instantly. There's no interest, late fees, or credit checks. No joke. You can get extra cash for anything your family needs. Download the Dave app now or go to dave.com. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking services provided by Evolve. Member FDIC.
Meet Joe A, Joe B, and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
O'Reilly. Stay cool this summer with AC Pro and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get a $15 O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card after rebate plus 2 times O Rewards points with the purchase of select AC Pro ready-to-use refrigerant products that include a hose and gauge. If your vehicle's AC is blowing hot air, beat the heat with AC Pro at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
All guests appearing on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star appear on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control rental and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, good morning to you.
Top of the morning to all.
This is R&R. He's Rudy. I'm Rob. We're glad you're with us on a Tuesday morning as we embark on a brand new NBA season as the Denver Nuggets put last year to bed, taking down Miami Heat. We look forward to next season. We'll talk some Wemby all week long because days end in Y, but it's time for some Dallas Cowboys talk. In just about 10 minutes, we're going to give away some Gunslinger tickets. The Wild West Showdown continues June the 17th, 6 o'clock. Your gunslingers, your first place gunslingers, welcome in the West Texas Warbirds for a little bit of revenge as they hold on to their first place standings. We'll give away those tickets in just a few minutes. I want to talk Cowboys real quick. I saw a story
start again today.
Yeah, they're busy. You see the story where the Fanatics, the brand that is all over sports, where you buy your jerseys, and you get all the your swag. There's a group of rookies that the Fanatics grabbed, and they had a little party, and they offered these rookies signed jerseys from their idols.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, really cool. And Deuce Vaughn and Schoonmaker were invited. So
they picked Emmett and Witten.
You'd like to think, but I like the comparisons, and if it works out, so Deuce got a signed jersey from Barry Sanders.
I'm not mad at that.
Like that. And I imagine there's a few, obviously, some comparisons there. Now, if we could get a third of what Barry's was, I'd be happy with that.
Okay.
Who do you think, when you think Schoonmaker and tight end? Now, and this is a current tight end that he got a signed jersey from.
It's these new age athletes don't mind taking jerseys from their, other, peers. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it was probably Kelsey.
George Kittle, which
whatever, top two
eminently. If those two turn out like the jerseys,
but the thing is like, do you really how does that go over in the locker room with the vets? Like, you think DeMarcus Lawrence is going to give him crap about that?
Oh, sure, I would.
Like, dude, you getting a jersey from our boogeyman?
Really, them? San
That's
Francisco?
our boogeyman, bro. Oh, he gonna have to do a couple extra weeks of donuts and a couple extra weeks of carrying luggage. But I get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an interesting story.
Hopefully he plays like Kittle, who's a great blocking tight end, but can also catch, just physical, just a dog. So, I mean, if you don't get his jersey, you better damn sure play like him.
when we look at where the Cowboys are headed as we get ready for Oxnard on July the 24th will be the first day of training camp out there.
Okay.
Some of the questions that we're looking forward to, what are they going to do with their offensive line? There's a little bit of news inside of that. Biotish, who's been a jack of all trades, been solid. This is a contract year for Tyler.
They got to pay him. If he has another good season, I mean, they don't call his number. He doesn't get holding call. He doesn't miss snaps. I don't know what the going rate for centers is, Ed, when you pull that up, but why wouldn't you retain Biotish? I mean, especially with Mike always talking about continuity. Dak has gotten comfortable with them. I'm not calling the kid Travis Frederick, but to me, he's been solid.
And when you think the Cowboys' offensive line, unfortunately,
they don't bring him up when they talk about Diggs, getting him, and talking about Trayvon. They don't talk about Biotish.
And the line, while it has been great, I mean, this has been a very good to great offensive line for a decade.
Right.
Basically.
Considering everything they've gone through. Right.
Injury prone this line is. How many games have been missed off this offensive line over the last 3 years? Yet they consistently perform. So guys like Biotish matter. Guys like Matt Waletzko gonna matter.
Waletzko gonna have to put in some minutes. Now I'm looking at the highest paid center, Rob. He plays for the Eagles, Jason Kelsey, Travis's brother, and it's at 14.2. Not bad.
No, and it's worth
for such an important position. That ain't bad at all.
Now here's the craziest thing: as you look at this list, look at who's number 8.
Connor Williams, baby.
God, if Connor Williams, how much is he making?
7.
Oh man,
Biotish got to get about 12, 13.
Yeah, with the floor
Connor
set.
was bad.
The offensive line is not a concern. It's not a worry, but it should be a point of emphasis coming into the season just because we know how injured these guys have been. And as we've gone through training camp and into OTAs.
But it hasn't been Biotish.
No, it hadn't. No, but we do know that, on both tackles, injury prone. One coming back. Maybe he's not injury prone, but is injured.
Right.
Your left tackle, man, only going to play 10 games. That's a good year. So the understanding that is a point of emphasis, not a point of concern, I think we carry forward. They still don't have a kicker. Still. It's not worthy of another argument, but I'm just saying.
No,
how many NFL teams are sitting in June without any idea who their kicker is going to be?
That's what training camp's for. I mean, keep in mind, like the reason there's no rush, keep in mind, when we were at training camp last year, Rob, their kickers were almost knocking out media members that were nowhere near the field goal post. So, and they figured it out after the fact. So there's no rush. They'll be fine there. Now, the thing about it is, Rob, once Terrence Steele is healthy, fully healthy, then, because right now, if Steele can't start, let's say Steele starts on the PUP list and he misses the first few games.
Which is probably.
Right.
Likely.
Tyron Smith goes to right, but when he comes back, you just Tyron go back to left, and then Smith goes to the left guard.
Let me tell you, man.
That's what they did last year.
I think last year was last year, and this year is going to be different.
This year, you feel like Tyler Smith, like you solidified your spot at left tackle.
And I can't
imagine.
imagine.
But if you can play left guard, why not? This way you still have a starter out there.
I agree, and that might be how it falls back. But we do know what the future is going to be.
Tyler Smith
is going to be at left tackle.
Yes.
He's going to be a left tackle.
Himself as a rookie.
And there's no need to wait unless, of course, that's because the injury situation, he has to get plugged in someplace else other than at left tackle. But I can't imagine doing that to him again because it felt like McCarthy was almost apologetic. We had Tyler in last year, and he was eager to do anything, and we worked him out this way, and we had him playing a bunch of different positions, and we kind of hamstrung him. But once we put him in a place, he went well. I think they looked back and thought, maybe we kind of, hampered his development for what will be a left tackle gig. But, that's a part of the team that never gets talked about, though, because they've got so many great guys.
Because they don't seem like they miss a beat.
The idea of a season without two of those offensive linemen at any given time, we're used to it. Yeah. We're used to it. Hey, we're going to put a bow on the show and look forward to a full sporting day. Continue talking Cowboys, the day ends and why. Some Wemby news. He might be done with France before we know it as it's coming down to the wire. It looks like they're about to be eliminated. We'll be right back. Looking forward. But before we go, let's give away some Gunslinger tickets. Get on the phone, 656-3776. Those are our Kia Bossa Smoke Meat phone lines. And if you're caller number 4, you're taking 4 folks to go see our first place Gunslingers on the 17th. Take on the Warbirds at our beautiful Joe Freeman. Get on the phone right now. Caller 4, go see the Gunslingers. We'll be right back. This is R&R on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Don't ask hubby, don't ask Pops what he wants for Father's Day. Just surprise him with a nice bottle of Gentleman Jack or Woodford Reserve or Herradura Tequila and get it engraved. Happy Father's Day. Love you. Number one, Dad. You can do that out at Texas Cheer Liquor #1 this Saturday from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. You purchase one of those bottles, the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel, Gentleman Jack, Woodford Reserve, or Herradura Tequila. You can get it engraved for free. Be a really cool bottle, really cool gift to get for Dad. That's Texas Cheer Liquor #1. That's on Petranco, past 211, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's 15118 Petranco Road. Really, really cool Father's Day gift. They've done it for years now. Yeah, I remember Pledge took advantage of it one year during Christmas because they do it around Christmas time as well. So really cool gift. You get it engraved with whatever it is as long as it fits on the bottle. Don't forget there are 8 other locations, 8 locations in San Antonio, 1 out in Bernie. June 30th, the Blitz is going to be out at the location in Bernie. That's Texas Cheer Liquor #5 for the 1-year anniversary. Putting together some really cool things for that day. But right now, let's just focus on the dads. Let's just focus on him. Let's just focus on your husband. Get him a really cool gift. Texas Cheer Liquor #1, Petranco, past 211. Not just cheers, it's Texas Cheer.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up at 2 on the Blitz, Shireen Williams joins us to talk a little Cowboys football and, well, a little football in general. I'm going to sit down with Terry Bradshaw, the Blonde Bomber. He'll join us on the Blitz starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Here at Total Wine & More, our amazing selection means you'll always
love what you find.
Dad, what are you doing here?
Just getting a sneak peek at my Father's Day gifts.
Well, I was thinking of getting you this Barrel Select bourbon.
That's a really nice bottle.
And Total Wine has it at the totally lowest price.
Wow, you always were my favorite.
Thanks, Dad.
Talking to the bourbon, sweetie.
Find what you love what you find. Like the perfect gift for Dad at the perfect price. Only at Total Wine & More.
And drink responsibly. B21.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
It can happen in an instant. A car accident can change your life forever. From serious injuries to mounting medical bills to battling insurance companies. Accidents make life harder than it should be. If you've been in an accident, George Salinas Injury Lawyers are here for you. They're local, experienced, and ready to fight for results that make a difference. If you've been injured, don't call just any lawyer. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit georgesalinas.com.
George gets justice.
Life is short, and if we spend our time suffering with pain and it takes away our joy, that's not a very good way to live.
He's right. It's hard to be happy when you're in constant pain. QC Kinetics patient Chad admits the chronic pain in his knee really robbed his quality of life.
When I was going to the traditional doctor and getting the pain pills, my smile wasn't as big as it usually is. Going to my high school reunion on crutches, it was awful.
But then Chad visited QC Kinetics. He experienced the real power behind natural regenerative treatments. Using healing properties from his own body, QC Kinetics was able to restore and repair damaged tissue, finally giving Chad lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime.
And I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
Learn how advanced regenerative medicine can help your body heal itself at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar is San Antonio's home for all things sports, drinks, and games. 7 days a week happy hour. Sports on all HD screens and plenty of arcade games. With 5 area locations: North Star, Nacogdoches, Medical Center, St. Mary's Strip, and Thousand Oaks. Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar has you covered for any occasion. Catering to you and delivering San Antonio memories for over 10 years. Slackers, San Antonio's home for all things sports, drinks, and games. Follow Slackers on Facebook for events and specials.
Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets.
The Denver Nuggets have finally done it.
The 2023 NBA Finals champion. The Nuggets win the NBA Finals for the first time in Nugget team history. No joke. The Joker wins the MVP. And you heard it here all season long on your exclusive home for the NBA. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It's R&R here on San Antonio's Sports Star. Thanks for joining us today. Greeny, at least his show, going off pretty soon. I don't expect Greeny today, post NBA championship celebration last
You don't think
night.
no Greeny today?
Yeah, I haven't seen him so
Greeny
far,
don't
but you never know. You never know.
Are you sad the NBA's gone? What are you going to watch tonight?
I am in the midst of a new series on Peacock.
Oh, that's right.
That's really good.
Crime, murder,
There's
scene,
something,
murder, crime.
It's a I forget the name, which is no help to anybody else out there. I'll get you caught up on that. But yeah,
it's not Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I can't do that, man.
Why?
Because they made it dark. I like it funny. I don't want the street.
Dark.
I don't want the danger. You know, I want the Carlton. That's what I want.
This Carlton was a cokehead.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly more realistic, man. I'm not tuning in for that.
I feel you, brother.
We were talking Cowboys earlier, and I didn't bring it up because
I saw that.
The Brian Baldinger.
Who's that?
He's an NFL type. Well, we've had him on the show on the Blitz. You've seen him. He's a former football player. He says that the Dallas Cowboys talk of a reunion with Zeke has legs. That as long as this Dalvin Cook thing keeps going, that it looks more and more possible that the guy with 12 touchdowns, as Brian Baldinger points out, he's still a productive player and he finishes drives. You want him here on Wednesday and practice for a tough game on Sunday. He's always there.
This is the thing, man. Like I kept talking about last year. Last year, Zeke 12 touchdowns. I kept talking a lot about it. But then when I look back the year before, he had 10. That's 22 touchdowns. Now, I don't give a damn if they 1 yard. There is a lot of teams that get down inside the 5 and cannot punch it in. Once the Cowboys get to the 5, when they had number 21, it was 6. It was going to be 6. And you're letting 22 touchdowns walk out the room. Now, look, I'm not saying it's going to make them go to the Super Bowl or not, but it is hard. You look at any team, you have 22 touchdowns walk out the door, that matters. 22, like really, like just right now, just count to 22. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So that's a big deal. So that's why Jerry's leaving that door open, Rob, because what I was looking at is a lot of people don't feel like Ronald Jones is going to even make this team.
It's going to be difficult. And the reason I felt like he was kind of a natural, but damn, the coaches don't even talk about him. You know what I mean? This was a pretty significant signing, and it probably got covered by the Gilmore and all that. But they don't even talk about this cat. I mean, we're talking about Deuce Vaughn Moore, and he's supposed to be the fill-in for Zeke. I do think Baldinger's got an idea here. One other thing that is worthy of paying attention to it.
What's up
today? It appears that that Congress is about to investigate this whole live PGA
This
thing.
is somebody mad. Like, y'all ain't got nothing better to do.
I want you to listen. Jay Monahan's. This is the guy from the PGA who's imminent to lose his job, or at least to be hated by every PGA member. Every PGA member hates him
right now.
I think that's a safe assumption. Listen to what he said. And you knew after the news broke and the PGA guys didn't know, and that's been talked about ad nauseum. Yesterday, this is a quote from Monahan's. While we are grateful for the written declarations of support we received from certain congressional members, we were largely left on our own to fend off the attacks, ostensibly due to the United States' complex geopolitical alliance with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Monahan wrote. This left the very real prospect of another decade of expensive and distracting litigation, and the PGA Tour's long-term existence was under a definite threat. So they're not taking any responsibility for how they got here. They're saying you didn't protect us.
Well, dude, this is the thing. When you had already spent $50 million on this stuff, and you know you're fighting against somebody with $680 billion, I'm going to my Rob card again. Fail fast. Fail fast. Like, you know what? We can't beat them. Let's join them. And it's not even really a merger. And from what
they bought them. They just bought the PGA.
Yeah, so from what I'm looking at, like the live is going to be no longer. They're going to kick Greg Norman to the curb, and they're just going to combine this thing somehow, some way. Now, I don't know what happens to all that money, that Dustin Johnson and Koepka and DeChambeau were promised. But I'm guessing there's going to be a way they figure all this out and they just become one little happy family and the guys just creep back into the PGA. Again, there's a lot of words being written about this thing that I really don't understand. But from what I'm reading, the LIV will be no longer here shortly.
It looks like they're forming a new nonprofit. The news are saying that the LIV Golf League will form a new nonprofit that will encompass both the LIV and the PGA. While we don't have any details, we still really don't know how this is going to work, other than the dudes that are get paid show up when they want and go play in some liver tournaments, and the PGA guys continue to scramble. That's really all we know, right?
Is that what it feels like?
It feels like the PGA is a bunch of
it reads like they just folded, but they really didn't.
What's a bunch of W9 guys, or the 1099 guys?
1099.
There's a bunch of 1099 guys, and then you got the full timers that are the LIV that are getting a salary, and you got the guys that are busting their ass weekly to get paid. That is not a long-term solution. That's not going to work. It's just not going to work. I don't know what the next one is, because I can see what the livers are saying. Well, where are you going to go? You either play with us or where? You're a professional golfer. There's only one place to play. It's with us, right?
True that. So make it happen.
How can you sustain where a third of your players are getting hundreds of millions of dollars no matter what they do, and the rest of the guys are 1099 types?
And Jay, shout out to Jay, because that wasn't an easy decision to come to. That wasn't an easy decision for him to come to. Trust me, he remembers what he said, but he understood, like, dude, we'll run out of money trying to fight these guys.
The PIF has assets of more than $700 billion. That's nearly enough to pay Rudy J. Nearly enough to get him in the building. You have to go to the Saudi race to go get stars just like that. Hey, the stars need rest too. Hey, we're going to go check the tape and practice awfully hard and figure out what comes next as the NBA puts to bed. We're going to start a new season and we're going to be covering it daily. The Wimby Watch is in full. Hey, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for hanging with us.
It's R&R in the morning. Follow Rob at Rob Thompson.